Chapter 1019. Crack! Crack! Ning Yu was not an indecisive person. He took out the red demon sword and slashed at the stone table. The stone table was not made of good material. Ning Yu used less than 10% of his strength to break it. Buzz! After the stone table was broken, a small whirlpool appeared in front of Ning Yu. Open! Since he had made a decision, Ning Yu would not go back on his word. He held the red demon sword and slashed at the barrier at the mouth of the whirlpool. Bang! A crisp sound rang out. Ning Yu was pushed back several zhang, only stopping when his body hit the wall. The intense pain from the web between his thumb and forefinger made Ning Yu's face contorted. This defense is indeed terrifying. Rubbing the web between his thumb and forefinger, Ning Yu was not in a hurry to slash again. Instead, he moved left and right around the whirlpool. After the previous slash, Ning Yu already knew that brute force could not break the barrier. Actually, it made sense. The whirlpool contained a terrifying amount of energy. If it was broken so easily, wouldn't it be terrible? If brute force doesn't work, I wonder if soul force will work. Ning Yu separated a bit of soul force and quietly approached the barrier. Hiss! Reality proved that brute force did not work, and neither did soul force. As soon as Ning Yu's soul force approached the barrier, it was swallowed by the barrier. Rumble! Moreover, when the energy in the whirlpool saw soul force enter, it became extremely excited. It almost instantly swallowed the soul force. No! This energy has its own consciousness. Ning Yu seemed to have encountered something extremely terrifying. He could not help but take a few steps back. Flying swords could give birth to spiritual bodies. After the physical body was destroyed, it could become illusory. Energy could also give birth to energy bodies. Compared to illusory bodies, energy bodies were even more terrifying. Illusory bodies needed to rely on an endless supply of energy to survive. But energy bodies were different. Energy bodies had extremely tenacious vitality. As long as they were allowed to escape, they could slowly grow again. I can't break the barrier. Ning Yu's eyes darted around, trying to think of a countermeasure. The fearsomeness of the energy body was no less than that of the extreme Yin body. When extreme Yin body erupted, it would only increase one's strength. But once the energy bodies erupted, they would be even more terrifying than locusts. It could instantly erode the brains of thousands of humans, turning them into idiots and fools. What does gut-breaking dragon want? Does it want me to help it subdue this energy body? Ning Yu felt a little pressured. Although the energy body within the vortex was still in its weak stage, its strength was equivalent to that of an early 7th grade human supreme martial artist. Gut-breaking dragon. Ning Yu's expression became a little gut-breaking you. Initially, he thought that by devouring the energy within the vortex, he would be able to advance from the half-Jizuan realm to the 1st grade human supremacy realm. But from the looks of it now, his life was in danger. Yuan Qi won't work. Soul power won't work. I wonder if the sapling and the law of space will work. Ning Yu frowned slightly and began to communicate with the sapling. Unfortunately, just like in the magic treasure cave, no matter how Ning Yu tried to communicate with the sapling did not respond at all. Helpless, Ning Yu could only give up and communicate with the law of space. Whoosh! It was different from a sapling. The sapling was not restricted by Ning Yu, but the spatial laws were restricted by Ning Yu. If the law of space did not listen to Ning Yu's instructions, it was likely that Ning Yu would teach it a lesson. Get closer to the vortex. Ning Yu pointed at the whirlpool. There was no need for Ning Yu to say anything. The law of space seemed to have an interest in the energy within the vortex and directly flew to the side of the vortex. Voila! When the energy body in the vortex saw the law of space, it looked as if it was facing a great enemy. Could this energy body be afraid of the law of space? Thinking of this, Ning Yu controlled the law of space to move away from the vortex. Buzz! Just as the law of space was a bit further away from the whirlpool, the energy body became excited. Come closer. In order to confirm his thoughts, Ningyu constantly controlled the law of space to move closer and further away from the vortex. A minute later, Ningyu revealed an excited expression. Sure enough, it's afraid of the law of space. Ningyu felt as if a heavy burden had been lifted off his shoulders. Since the energy body was afraid of the law of space, then Ningyu was no longer worried. He directly controlled the law of space to move closer to the vortex and began bombarding the barrier at the mouth of the vortex. Kacha! The impact of the law of space was very powerful. In just an instant, the barrier was blasted open. You could clearly feel the energy body trembling. Come out, or I will let the law of space take you. You crossed his arms in front of his chest and stared at the energy body in the vortex with interest. Under the dual pressure of Ningyu and the energy body had no choice but to fly out of the vortex. I can't believe it. With the appearance of the energy body, Ningyu could not help but curse, because behind the energy body there was a waist-thick energy body that also flew out. So much energy. With Ningyu's sharp senses, he could naturally notice that the energy behind the energy body was different from the energy body. To be more precise, the energy body had not devoured the energy. Hand over the energy. Ningyu stretched out his palm and said lightly, "Under the eaves, one had to lower one's head." The energy body unwillingly threw the energy behind it to Ningyu. Law of space, look after this energy body for me. I will refine this energy. Receiving the majestic energy, Ningyu sat down cross-legged and began refining it using his mental cultivation method. It was different from ordinary energy. After going through the energy body's transformation, the energy had become extremely pure, without any impurities. In about half an hour, I might be able to advance to first-grade human supreme. Now that Ningyu's cultivation was at the half-step supreme realm, he was confident that he could advance to first-grade human supreme within half an hour with such a large amount of energy. Originally, it would take 2 hours to treat the Beast King. If he could advance to first-grade human supreme, Ningyu was confident that he could cure the Beast King's injuries within half an hour. While Ningyu was cultivating, the energy body moved left and right, trying to escape. However, the law of space was watching him closely, making it difficult for him to leave. At the same time, in another area at the bottom of the Heartbroken Lake, there were 3 figures in total. 2 of them were sitting on stone chairs, while the third figure was standing in front of them with a terrified expression. I have already done as you said. I lured Ningyu into that secret chamber and let him deal with the energy body. If Ningyu was here, he would definitely realize that he knew the person speaking. Heartbroken Dragon. It was the Heartbroken Dragon that brought him to the room. Good, very good. You have done very well. One of the warriors nodded and said, as long as Ningyu is devoured by the energy body, we can bring this mother body to subdue the energy body. In this way, not only can we successfully kill Ningyu, we can also obtain a complete energy body. This warrior had a golden crystal ball in his hand. Chapter 1020. Success. I've done what you asked. I wonder if you can. The broken intestine flood dragon glanced at the golden crystal ball in the elder's hand and gritted its teeth. Don't worry. As long as Ningyu is killed, we'll definitely return the broken intestine flood dragon to you. The elder waved his hand, signaling the broken intestine flood dragon not to worry. Go back first and pay close attention to Ningyu's changes. Inform us immediately if anything happens. All right. The broken intestine flood dragon could only leave helplessly. Venerable Wind, Ningyu is a cunning person. Should we go there ourselves? Another cultivator asked after the broken intestine flood dragon left. Venerable Yang, I won't stop you if you want to go. The corners of Venerable Wind's mouth rose as he said, "Now we only have less than 20% of our combat strength left. If we go now and get sneak attacked by Ningyu and the others, wouldn't all our efforts be in vain? The broken intestine flood dragon has collected a lot of treasures and elixirs over the years." Venerable Wind paused for a moment, then continued, "Give us an hour and we'll be able to recover 30% or even 40% of our peak strength. It won't be too late to go there by then." "Makes sense." Venerable Yang's expression turned ugly after being looked down upon by Venerable Wind. Despite his expression, Venerable Yang still nodded. "Then what are we waiting for? Let's make the most of our time." Bang, bang, bang. While Venerable Wind and the rest were working hard to recover, Ningyu was cultivating in another room. A series of muffled sounds rang in his mind. Ningyu immediately stood up from the ground. "I'm still missing something." Ningyu frowned and mumbled as he felt the changes in his consciousness. Ningyu initially thought that he would be able to reach Grade 1 Human Supreme in half an hour. Who would have thought that 20 minutes had passed and he still had no idea what to do? The only difference was that the energy in his consciousness had become more abundant. What went wrong? Otherwise, after 20 minutes of cultivation, Ningyu's cultivation would be infinitely close to that of a first-grade human sovereign. After pondering for a while, Ningyu transferred all of his soul power into his sea of consciousness. Buzz! The accumulation of energy and soul force had caused Ningyu's sea of consciousness to be extremely full, to the point where it was on the verge of exploding. "Swallow!" With a thought, Ningyu shouted again. This time, with the help of soul power, Ningyu's devouring speed was significantly faster. Bang! About 10 minutes later, a muffled sound rang out from Ningyu's sea of consciousness. "Puchi!" As soon as the muffled sound was heard, Ningyu spat out a mouthful of red blood. "There's hope!" Although he spat out a mouthful of blood, Ningyu did not seem to mind it at all. Instead, he revealed a happy expression. This was a situation that must be experienced in order to advance from the half-supreme stage to the first-grade human supreme stage. Bang, bang! After the first muffled sound, several more muffled sounds rang out one after another. Every time a muffled sound was heard, the joy on Ningyu's face would increase by a notch. Rumble! In the end, Ningyu suddenly felt an explosive pain in his head, and then he completely lost consciousness. Buzz! Seeing that Ningyu had lost consciousness, the energy form's mind became active again, and it began to move around in the room. The energy form flew out of the room, carefully. The energy form's speed was very slow, and moving was the most appropriate way to describe it. After all, the law of space was still watching, and it did not dare to be too rash. If it was not for the fact that Ningyu had fainted, it would have stayed in the air obediently, waiting for Ningyu's interrogation. Swoosh! However, just as the energy form reached the door, the law of space flashed and blocked its way. Whoosh! Looking at the law of space in front of it, the energy form revealed an expression as if it was facing a great enemy, and it trembled all over. Boom! At this moment, an extremely terrifying aura surged out from Ningyu's body and shot into the sky. Stop right there! Before the aura could break through the roof, Ningyu suddenly opened his eyes and bellowed. Swoosh! As Ningyu bellowed, the terrifying aura returned to his body. Phew! Ningyu's consciousness entered his sea of consciousness to observe for a while, and he slowly exhaled a mouthful of murky air, and a look of surprise appeared on his face. Grade 1 Human Supreme Martial Artist. After his rebirth, he had finally cultivated to the Supreme Martial Artist realm. Compared to the Creation realm, the Supreme Martial Artist realm was the true entry level. If a Creation realm warrior wanted to go against a Supreme Martial Artist realm warrior, he would need a top genius and some powerful demonic beasts. When Ningyu was half a step to the Supreme Martial Artist realm, he could kill a Grade 4 Human Supreme Martial Artist and go against a Grade 5 human supreme martial artist. Now that he had advanced to grade 1 human supreme martial artist, his strength had taken another qualitative leap. Now that he encountered Venerable Mingyang and the others, although Ningyu could not kill them, he could still go against them. In other words, if a grade 6 human supreme martial artist wanted to kill him, it would be extremely difficult, almost impossible. Ningyu did not think too much. He stepped on the ground and instantly appeared in front of the Beast King and started to treat the Beast King. When he was half a step to the supreme martial artist realm, Ningyu could treat the Beast King within 2 hours. Now that he had advanced to grade 1 human supreme martial artist, he was confident that he could treat the Beast King within half an hour. Ningyu was not an indecisive person. He directly sat cross-legged behind the Beast King, placed his hands on the Beast King's back, and started to carefully examine the condition of the Beast King's body. Find the right remedy. In order to successfully treat the Beast King, he had to first understand the condition of the Beast King's internal injuries. Russell. Inside the room, Ningyu was working hard to treat the Beast King. Outside the room, the broken intestine flood dragon had already arrived. Ningyu is still inside. The broken intestine flood dragon looked at the tightly shut door and asked in confusion. That's right. The Sword of Evil's tone was emotionless as he said plainly, can I go in for a while? The broken intestine flood dragon's eyes flickered, and he was having an intense internal struggle. In the end, he clenched his teeth and said, I have something very important to tell Ningyu. You can tell me first if there's anything important. Ningyu has instructed that no one is allowed in without his permission. The Sword of Evil's expression did not change at all. No, I can only tell you this after I see Ningyu. The broken intestine flood dragon refused. The Sword of Evil shook his head and said, If that's the case, I can't help you even if I wanted to. I have to see Ningyu now because this matter is very important. The broken intestine flood dragon said anxiously. He seemed a little nervous. Why do you have to see Ningyu? The broken intestine flood dragon's behavior made the Sword of Evil suspicious. Why would he have to see Ningyu for something so important? It didn't make sense at all. The Sword of Evil said calmly, Ningyu is treating the Beast King in the room. Are you trying to ruin his efforts by disturbing him at this time? Treating the Beast King. The broken intestine flood dragon's heart skipped a beat and he hurriedly said, Ningyu will definitely need energy to treat the Beast King. I'm here this time to give him energy. Chapter 10:21. It's over. After receiving the storage bag, the Sword of Evil sent a portion of his perception into it. Gasp! As soon as his perception entered the storage bag, Sword Venerable sucked in a breath of cold air. The reason why the Sword of Evil was shocked was not because there were a lot of primordial crystals in the storage bag, nor was it because there was a lot of energy in the storage bag. Instead, it was because the storage bag was completely empty. There was nothing inside. Are you sure you're not messing with me? The Sword of Evil looked at the heartbroken flood dragon as if he was looking at an idiot and said coldly, If you joke with me like this again, I won't be so nice anymore. Swoosh! As he spoke, the Sword of Evil passed the storage bag to the heartbroken flood dragon. Smack! The heartbroken flood dragon was dumbfounded as he caught the storage bag. What the F***CK was going on here? My heartbroken flood dragon. However, when the heartbroken flood dragon sent his perception into the storage bag, the expression on his face was extremely interesting. There might be a misunderstanding. I wanted to give you this storage bag. The heartbroken flood dragon scratched his head awkwardly and took out another storage bag from his pocket. This time, the heartbroken flood dragon did not toss the storage bag to the Sword of Evil immediately. Instead, he sent a portion of his perception into the storage bag to make sure there was no mistake. However, As soon as the heartbroken flood dragon's perception entered the storage bag, his mouth opened slightly. He was completely dumbfounded. Gulp. Gulping, the heartbroken flood dragon hurriedly took out all the storage pouches on its body. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The heartbroken flood dragon continued to use his perception to probe the storage bags. After a while, the heartbroken flood dragon was dumbfounded. The reason being that he discovered that all of the storage bags were completely empty. There was nothing inside them. Impossible. This is impossible. All the primordial crystals I've collected over the years are in there. Why is there nothing left? The broken intestine flood dragon was a little dazed. It stood rooted to the ground and remained silent for a long time. Stop pretending. If Ningyu needs crystals, he will definitely tell us. You should retreat first. After Ningyu treats the Beast King, we will look for you. The Sword of Evil waved his hand, indicating that the heartbroken flood dragon could leave. This all right. There was not even a single origin crystal in the storage bag, so the broken intestine flood dragon could not be thick-skinned enough to keep it. He nodded helplessly and left without looking back. I have a feeling that the heartbroken flood dragon is hiding something from us. The eight-legged centipede muttered as it watched the intestine-breaking flood dragon leave. Nonsense. I also know that the heartbroken flood dragon is hiding something from us. The Sword of Evil glared at the eight-legged centipede and said in a deep voice, Ningyu is treating the Beast King. We don't know when he will be able to treat the Beast King. It's best that we don't meddle in other people's business. At the very least, we should guard the room for Ningyu and ensure that no one comes in. Venerable Wind and Venerable Yang have already escaped. Now that you've recovered to the early 7th grade Supreme Realm, I don't believe that anyone would dare to come here. The eight-legged centipede curled its lips and said, PSSSD. Suddenly, the space trembled. PSSSD. Following that, two figures tore through the void and appeared before the eight-legged centipede and the rest. Shit, it's Venerable Wind and Venerable Yang. The sudden change caused the eight-legged centipede and the rest to have a drastic change in expression, especially the Sword Evil supremacy. His heart sank to the bottom of the valley. The Sword of Evil realized that the aura that Venerable Wind and Venerable Yang revealed was extremely terrifying. If Venerable Wind and Venerable Yang were said to have only 20% of their strength when they were in the deepest part of the magical Beast Mountain range, then they had recovered to 25% of their strength now. Venerable Wind, listen to me, right? Venerable Yang raised a corner of his lips and said proudly, if we had recovered to 30% of our strength, the cucumber would be cold by then. Originally, Venerable Wind planned to recover to 30% of his strength before coming over. However, when they recovered to 25% of their strength, Venerable Yang suddenly had a sudden impulse and wanted to come over personally. Venerable Wind had no choice but to follow because Venerable Wind was afraid that Venerable Yang would monopolize the Beast King and Ningyu. After all, the Beast King was an 8th grade supreme human, while Ningyu was a monster. He had to bring one of these two monsters back to the sacred heaven gate. Eight-legged centipede, do you believe me now? I see that you're quite talented among the beasts. Why don't you follow me and become my mount? I'll spare your life. Venerable Yang said to the eight-legged centipede. And you? Then Venerable Yang said to the Earthshaker. I said that the eight-legged centipede's talent is good, but it doesn't mean that you're not. How about this? Surrender to me and become my mount, and I'll spare your life too. The eight-legged centipede and the Earthshaker's faces turned green, and they trembled with anger. However, there was nothing they could do. Venerable Yang's current combat power was at least equivalent to a 7th grade mid-stage human supreme. Venerable Wind's combat power was even more ridiculous, equivalent to a 7th grade mid-stage human supreme. The Sword of Evil was no match for him in a one-on-one fight, let alone two against one. As for the eight-legged centipede and the Earthshaker, they were of no help at all. No, I have to stop them. The Sword of Evil took a deep breath and decided to stop Venerable Wind and Venerable Yang no matter what. Why, you're not willing. Seeing that the eight-legged centipede and the Earthshaker were still standing there without any reaction, Venerable Yang's face turned cold. All right, since you're not willing, I'll send you to hell. As soon as the word hell fell, Venerable Yang stomped on the ground and dashed forward. Swoosh! Venerable Yang had regained his 7th grade mid-stage human supreme strength. His speed was extremely fast, and he appeared in front of the eight-legged centipede in the blink of an eye. Bang! He threw a punch, and it landed squarely on the eight-legged centipede's chest. The huge force from the punch sent the eight-legged centipede flying several feet away. Uft! The eight-legged centipede fainted on the spot after spitting out fresh blood. How boring. I haven't even used my full strength and you're already down. Venerable Yang shrugged and dashed forward again. This time his target was the Earthshaker. Rumble. Compared to the eight-legged centipede, the Earthshaker's combat power was a few times stronger. Facing Venerable Yang's attack, the Earthshaker managed to block it. However, the Earthshaker was at an absolute disadvantage. It would not be long before he was defeated. Although the Earthshaker was in a dangerous situation, the Sword of Evil had no intention of helping. It was not because the Sword of Evil did not want to help, but because he had already been targeted by the Venerable Wind. The Venerable Wind's strength was equivalent to a 7th grade mid-stage human supreme, which was 1 level higher than him. It was not wise to make a move now. The Sword of Evil's eyes darted around, trying to think of a countermeasure. I wonder if Ningyu healed the Beast King. Chapter 10:22. Impossible. Uft. In order to hold on for a little longer, the Earthshaker gave it his all, even using all his strength. It was a pity. Even if the Earthshaker used all his strength, he could only hold on for 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, Venerable Yang found an opportunity and punched the Earthshaker, forcing the Earthshaker to retreat several feet. Blood spurted out from his mouth, and the Earthshaker's aura instantly dropped from the 6th grade human supreme to the 5th grade human supreme. In fact, it was still falling. You're seeking your own death. Don't blame me. After saying that, Sovereign Yang's feet stomped on the ground, and his body instantly charged out. Venerable Yang did not want to leave anyone alive. The Earthshaker knew too much, and there was no benefit in keeping him alive. Crack! Venerable Yang's attack was extremely powerful, and it landed on the horn on the Earthshaker's head. A crisp sound was heard, and the horn on the Earthshaker's head was broken in half. As for the Earthshaker, he was lying on the ground, barely breathing. Oh, not bad. Although I'm far from my peak state, you're able to block my all-out attack. This proves that you're not bad. The corner of Venerable Yang's mouth rose, and he said, If you weren't on the same side as Ningyu, I might have spared your life. Unfortunately, you must die today. Venerable Yang, before you kill the Earthshaker, can you ask for my permission first? At this moment, the Sword of Evil took out the Emperor lower grade flying sword, and he said in a deep voice, No matter what, I'm still a 7th grade. Stop, stop. I only have one question for you. Are you going to stand up for the Earthshaker? Venerable Yang frowned slightly, and he interrupted the Sword of Evil and asked, With your current state, do you think you're my opponent? Whether it is or not, we'll only know after we try. The Sword of Evil said coldly, I'll give you a chance. With a thought, Venerable Yang said, Venerable Wind, I defeated the Earthshaker and the eight-legged centipede. I'll leave this Sword of Evil to you. What a good plan. Venerable Wind said coldly in his heart. Although he was dissatisfied, Venerable Wind did not show it. Instead, he said calmly, Venerable Yang, you're stronger than me. I'll leave the Sword of Evil to you. Ha ha ha. Venerable Wind sure knows how to joke. Venerable Yang laughed hysterically and said, The Sword of Evil is holding a monarch rank flying sword in his hand. I believe you should be able to use it, right? Let's attack together. Venerable Wind did not want to talk nonsense with Venerable Yang here. He shouted and immediately rushed out. Damn it! Venerable Yang cursed in his heart and immediately joined in the attack against the Sword of Evil. The Sword of Evil was originally not a match for Venerable Yang. Now that Venerable Wind, who was even more powerful than Venerable Yang, had joined the fight, the Sword of Evil's situation suddenly plummeted, and he was in danger. Bang, bang, bang. There were a few times when the Sword of Evil dodged in time, he would have been killed. I can't go on like this. I might not even be able to last 10 minutes. Venerable Sword Evil's word fought with great difficulty while thinking of a countermeasure. Sword of Evil, why don't we make a deal? At this moment, a soft voice entered the ears of the Sword of Evil. Don't show any abnormal behavior. I'm Venerable Yang. Seeing that the Sword of Evil was a little shocked, Venerable Yang quickly said, Let's work together and fight against Venerable Wind together. What? The Sword of Evil's heart exploded. Fight against Venerable Wind together? Was there really such a good thing in this world? The Sword of Evil did not really believe it. Although pies would fall from the sky occasionally without exception, those pies were always prepared beforehand. There was no reason for Venerable Yang and Venerable Wind to fall out. Don't doubt me, I'm also thinking for myself. Venerable Yang's voice was heard again. Venerable Wind has long wanted to kill me. If I don't respond, I might be killed by him. I promise you, as long as you can kill Venerable Wind, I'll let you live. Are you serious? The Sword of Evil finally understood. No matter what, he had to promise Venerable Yang first. Firstly, he could buy some time. Secondly, he could join forces to fight against Venerable Wind. Why not? After all, with Venerable Yang's strength, there was no reason for him to lie to him. I'm serious. Listen to my command later. We'll attack together and kill Venerable Wind. After saying this, Venerable Yang went completely silent. Uft. In the first minute, Venerable Yang did not contact the Sword of Evil, and even hit the Sword of Evil, causing the Sword of Evil to spit out a mouthful of blood. Pft, pft. In the second minute, Venerable Yang still did not contact the Sword of Evil, causing the Sword of Evil to spit out a few mouthfuls of blood. Attack! In the third minute, Venerable Yang suddenly shouted. Slash! Hearing Venerable Yang's words, the Sword of Evil did not care anymore. He continuously waved the Emperor low-grade flying sword in his hand and slashed out a few sword rays. Child's play. Venerable Wind did not care about the Sword of Evil's sword rays. He flipped his hand and slapped out a few palm prints to disperse the sword rays. Bang! At the same time, the Sword of Evil's body was hit by Venerable Wind and he hit the door behind him. Can't even withstand a single blow. Venerable Wind's lips curled into a sinister smile and said coldly, Die! Meanwhile, Exalt Yang had suddenly withdrawn a low-grade monarch rank flying sword, and he slashed out with a terrifying wave of the sword. Swoosh! The sword ray was as thick as a waist and was blood-red in color. The pulsating yuan qi on it was abnormally terrifying. Supreme 9 Purities, Sword Techniques, 7th Style, Death Sword Ray. Venerable Yang was an 8th grade human supreme of the Supreme 9 Purities Temple. He was definitely one of the higher-ups and was a member of the Supreme 9 Purities Temple's direct line of descent. It was reasonable that he knew the Supreme 9 Purities, Sword Techniques, 7th Style, Death Sword Ray. Venerable Yang, how dare you sneak an attack on me? Venerable Wind's expression changed drastically. Obviously, Venerable Wind did not expect Venerable Yang to sneak an attack on him. Amidst the panic, Venerable Foam took out a flying sword from his bosom and slashed out several sword beams. Chi, 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 chi. The sword rays and sword ray clashed, and the sound of chi, chi was heard continuously. Crack, crack, crack. The terrifying sword light and sword wave collided, causing the surrounding void to emit cracking sounds. A berserk shockwave spread rapidly in all directions from the point of collision. Venerable Yang, you've got guts. However, you're still lacking if you want to kill me today. After the storm subsided, Venerable Wind said fiercely, "Do you think you can kill me by teaming up with this trash? To tell you the truth, my strength is worlds apart from yours. Even two of you won't be a match for me." Rumble. As soon as he finished speaking, an extremely terrifying aura emitted from Venerable Wind's body. "This is impossible." Sensing the terrifying aura emanating from Venerable Wind's body, Venerable Yang's heart sank to the bottom, and his face turned pale. 7th grade, Human Supreme, late stage. Chapter 10:23. Reaching an agreement, Venerable Wind. We both absorbed the energy together and recovered together. Why did I only recover to the mid-7th grade while you recovered to the late 7th grade? Supremacy Yang had calculated everything, and even Supremacy Sword Evil had been included in his calculations. However, he still did not calculate that the Wind Venerable Strength had already recovered to the 7th grade late Human Supreme Martial Artist. A late 7th grade Human Supreme was extremely terrifying. At the very least, it would be very easy to kill him. Nothing is impossible. Venerable Wind said coldly, "I'm from the Sacred Heaven Sect. The Sacred Heaven Sect's cultivation technique is many times better than your supreme 9 purities temples. I only recovered to the late 7th grade Human Supreme, which is already considered very poor." Uft. Venerable Yang almost spat out a mouthful of blood. "You recovered 1 level more than me in the same amount of time, and you say it's very poor? It's really infuriating to compare. Sword of Evil, it's time for you to sacrifice yourself." With a gloomy expression, Venerable Yang said in a low voice, "Sacrifice me?" The Sword of Evil pointed at his own nose and said, "This is between you and Venerable Wind. It has nothing to do with me. I don't want to get involved." As he spoke, the Sword of Evil took a few steps back, indicating that he wouldn't interfere. "Venerable Yang, you want the Sword of Evil to self-destruct to threaten me. You don't know that I've already expected this." Venerable Wind smiled faintly and said, "When you were fighting with the Earthshaker, the Sword of Evil and I reached an agreement to deal with you together. I'm sorry, but you're much weaker than Venerable Wind. Working with him is better than working with you." The Sword of Evil shrugged at Venerable Yang and said, "Good, very good. Your cooperation with Venerable Wind is like asking a tiger for its skin. It won't end well for you." Venerable Yang gritted his teeth. "Whether or not I'm asking a tiger for its skin has nothing to do with you." The Sword of Evil didn't care whether he was asking a tiger for its skin or not. What he needed to do now was to stall for time. As long as they could stall until Ningyu and the Beast King came out, all the problems would be solved. The Sword of Evil didn't believe that Ningyu didn't know about the battle outside. With Ningyu's personality in the past, he would have let the Beast King enter the storage ring and run away if he didn't have absolute confidence. Since Ningyu did not respond, it meant that Ningyu was fully focused on treating the Beast King. "Venerable Yang, since things have come to this, I'll give you a chance to live." The person who said this was Venerable Wind. Venerable Wind said faintly, "Submit to me and make a heavenly oath, and I'll spare your worthless life." Humph. You've only recovered to the 7th grade late stage Human Supreme. If I want to run, you can't do anything about it. Venerable Yang snorted coldly. "You can try." Venerable Wind said with the same expression, "Let's try. I'm not afraid of you." With a low roar, Venerable Yang's hands tore through the void and disappeared in the blink of an eye. "Venerable Wind, aren't you afraid of Venerable Yang's revenge?" Seeing that Venerable Yang escaped and Venerable Wind didn't chase after him, the Sword of Evil said hesitantly, "Afraid? Hee, why should I be afraid?" Venerable Wind smiled and said, "Venerable Yang can't run away." Bang! Just as expected. Not long after Venerable Wind said that, Venerable Yang bounced out from the void and landed heavily on the ground. Impossible, absolutely impossible. Supremacy Yang scrambled to get up from the ground, his face full of fear. Sigh, I've said that nothing is impossible. Venerable Wind sighed and said, Not only have I reached an agreement with the Sword of Evil, I've also reached an agreement with the Gut Breaker Dragon. I've been able to control the parent body of the energy since a long time ago. Sha-sha! Suddenly, a ray of cold light shot out from the void. An energy body. The cold light that shot out from the void was an energy body, and it was the parent body of the energy body. Come here. Venerable Wind extended his right hand and said in a low voice. The energy body understood the situation and stopped on Venerable Wind's right palm. You didn't expect this, did you? I promised the Gut Breaker Dragon that I would return the baby Gut Breaker Dragon to him. Venerable Wind smiled evilly and said, The price is that he will wait for you in the void with the energy body and ambush you. Buzz, buzz! As the Wind Venerable's sinister laughter faded, the gut-severing flood dragon gradually emerged from the void. I should have thought of that. Venerable Yang's face was pale, and he was on the verge of exploding. In your next life, remember that there are some people you can offend, but there are also some people you can't. Venerable Wind did not care if Venerable Yang was angry or not. His body suddenly became illusory and merged with the void. Even if I die, I won't let you have it easy. At this point, Venerable Yang did something that shocked everyone. Venerable Yang took a deep breath, and his body immediately expanded. First, it started from his stomach, then his legs, then his arms, and finally his head. In short, in the short span of 0.01 seconds, Supremacy Yang's entire body had expanded several times. Let's go. Seeing Venerable Yang's transformation, the Sword of Evil's face changed. He grabbed the Earth Shaker and quickly ran away. The Gut Breaker Dragon also grabbed the 8-legged centipede and followed closely behind the Sword of Evil. Rumble. Not long after they flew away, Supremacy Yang exploded with a loud bang. At his peak, Venerable Yang was an 8th grade human supreme. Although his strength had decreased, it was still equivalent to a 7th grade intermediate human supreme. The explosion of a 7th grade intermediate human supreme was extremely terrifying. The first person to bear the brunt of the explosion was Venerable Wind. Damn it! Venerable Wind could not help but curse. Although he cursed, Venerable Wind had no choice but to run away while using all his strength to resist. Whoosh! Outside the room, Venerable Wind was desperately resisting the aftermath of Venerable Yang's explosion. Inside the room, Ningyu slowly let out a breath of turbid air. His face was filled with excitement. He had finally healed the Beast King. At this moment, the Beast King's strength had recovered to the 7th grade Advanced Human Supreme. Moreover, the Beast King was only one step away from recovering to the 7th grade Pinnacle Human Supreme. Oh no! Before the Beast King could even feel excited, his expression changed drastically. He quickly released the Yuan Qi in his sea of consciousness, forming a Yuan Qi shield around him and Ningyu. Crack, crack! The terrifying shockwave hit the Yuan Qi shield, causing it to make cracking sounds. It seemed like it was about to shatter. It's Venerable Yang's self-destruction. Ningyu was very familiar with Venerable Yang's aura. Almost instantly, he determined that the person who exploded was Venerable Yang. Beast King, think of a way to save the Earth Shaker and the rest. Ningyu hurriedly said. The power of Venerable Yang's self-destruction was extremely terrifying. Ningyu did not believe that the Earth Shaker and the rest could withstand it. No need. They are safe now. As the Beast King injected the essence in his sea of consciousness into the essence barrier, he said in a deep voice, the gut-breaking flood dragon brought them to an absolutely safe area. We should take care of our own safety first. That's right. You should take care of your own safety. Chapter 10:24. Who will win? Crack! As soon as the voice stopped, the space suddenly split apart and a figure slowly emerged from the void. Venerable Wind. Looking at the familiar figure before him, Ning Yu's face turned extremely gloomy. At the same time, Ning Yu was a little puzzled. Venerable Yang was an 8th grade supreme martial artist, and his self-destruction was extremely powerful. How could Venerable Wind be fine? Haha, let me answer you. As if he could see through Ning Yu's doubts, Venerable Wind smiled and said, as long as it's here, not to mention Venerable Yang's self-destruction, even if it's a 9th grade supreme martial artist self-destruction, I won't be afraid. A ball of golden energy floated in Venerable Wind's hand. Energy body. Ning Yu's heart skipped a beat. That was because he knew and had seen the thing in Venerable Wind's hand before. It was an energy body. Compared to the energy body he controlled, the one in Venerable Wind's hand was obviously much more powerful. Oh, you know about energy bodies too. Venerable Wind looked at Ning Yu in astonishment and raised his brows. Since you know about energy bodies, I'll give you a chance. Let it devour you. Crack! At this moment, the energy barrier around Ning Yu and the Beast King suddenly cracked. As Venerable Wind was protected by energy bodies, the aftermath of Venerable Yang's self-destruction surged towards Ning Yu and the Beast King. Damn it! The sudden change in events caused Ning Yu's heart to sink to rock bottom. Energy body, come out and block the aftermath for me. I can spare your life. At this point, Ning Yu had no other choice but to make a last resort and communicate with the small energy body. Buzz! Ever since Ning Yu cured the Beast King, Ning Yu had stored the small body of energy into his storage ring and handed it over to the law of space. Now that there was an opportunity to leave the storage ring, the small body of energy was naturally not going to let it go. Looking at the two of you, I'm sure you won't be able to withstand the aftermath. I'll reluctantly help you block some of it. The little energy entity hated Venerable Wind to the core. Before he could leave the ring, Venerable Wind waved his hand and said, a steady stream of energy was emitted from the parent body, enveloping the entire room. Chi-chi! No matter how the shockwave from Venerable Yang's self-destruction hit the barrier, there was no way to break it. Beast King, I thought you had recovered. So you've only recovered to the 7th grade middle human supreme realm. Venerable Wind's gaze fell on the Beast King. I'm from the divine heaven sect. I'm compassionate and will not kill the innocent. Now I'll give you a chance to live. Kneel down and kowtow to me a few times. Then make a heavenly oath to submit to me. Otherwise, no one in this world will be able to save you. You want me to submit to you? Why don't you take a piss and look at yourself? You're so pretentious. Yet you want me to submit to you? You must be dreaming, the Beast King said coldly as if he wasn't afraid of Venerable Wind. Very well, very well. Venerable Wind gritted his teeth in anger. I originally wanted to let you live a little longer. Now, it seems like there's no need for that. Energy body, devour both of them. Don't leave any survivors. Swoosh! Hearing Venerable Wind's order, the parent body of energy in his hand instantly rushed out. Under Venerable Wind's control, the target of the parent body of energy was the Beast King. The Beast King had already recovered to the 7th grade middle human supreme realm. His strength was much stronger than Ning Yu's. As long as he could kill the Beast King, wouldn't Ning Yu be a piece of cake? This is my chance. This was the moment Ning Yu had been waiting for. Actually, the moment he saw Venerable Wind take out the energy body, Ning Yu knew that his chance had come. Law of space, control this energy body. With a thought, Ning Yu took out the law of space. Whoosh! As soon as the law of space appeared, the parent body of energy retreated as if it was facing a great enemy. What are you doing? Come back! Come back and deal with him! Seeing the parent body of energy escaping in a panic, Venerable Wind shouted. However, no matter how Venerable Wind shouted, the parent body of energy did not answer him. It left without looking back. I'm going to teach you a lesson. In a moment of desperation, Venerable Wind forced out a few drops of blood essence and cast a secret technique to burn them. Swoosh! In an instant, the parent body of energy returned to Venerable Wind's palm and floated. Phew! After the parent body of energy returned, Venerable Wind let out a long sigh of relief. That was close. The aftermath of Venerable Yang's self-destruction had not dissipated completely. If the parent body of energy disappeared now, would he not be finished? Ningyu, Beast King, you win. Now, you will face the aftermath of Venerable Yang's explosion alone. Venerable Wind glared at Ningyu and Beast King and said coldly, "Just because you have an energy body doesn't mean we don't." Ningyu curled his lips, and then he took out the small energy body. Although the smaller energy body was not as powerful as the parent body of energy, it was still easy for it to withstand the aftermath of Venerable Yang's self-destruction. You have an energy body too. Looking at the energy body in Ningyu's hand, Venerable Wind was in disbelief. When the Gut Breaker Dragon gave him the parent body of energy, it did not mention that there was another energy body. Gut Breaker Dragon, when I find you, I'll grind your bones into dust. Venerable Wind said viciously, "You should take care of yourself first." Ningyu smirked and ordered the space law in his heart. Force the energy body in Venerable Wind's hand to retreat. No matter what, I can't let it continue to block the aftermath of Venerable Yang's self-destruction for Venerable Wind. The space law knew how to adapt to circumstances. He quickly came before Venerable Wind and threatened the parent body of energy. Hum hum hum. Under the pressure of the space law, the parent body of energy was not in the mood to block the aftermath. Instead, it focused on dealing with the space law. Pft, pft, pft. The parent body of energy did not block the aftermath of Venerable Yang's self-destruction for Venerable Wind, causing Venerable Wind to face a great threat. Countless aftershocks bombarded Venerable Wind's body, pushing Venerable Wind several meters back. He spat out mouthfuls of blood. Venerable Wind was in a miserable state. As for Ningyu and the Beast King, they were safe and sound under the protection of the smaller energy body. Rumble. About half an hour later, the aftermath of Venerable Yang's self-destruction finally weakened. The entire area was in a mess. The houses were in ruins, and the ground was sunken. Even the water level of Broken Intestine Lake had dropped by 3 to 4 meters. In the area where Venerable Yang self-destructed, there was a huge, bottomless pit on the ground. The lake water had all gushed into it. Venerable Wind, how much combat power do you have left? When everything was over, Ningyu slowly came before Venerable Wind and said, "The Beast King has recovered to the 7th grade Middle Human Supreme Realm. I wonder if you're a match for him." Don't get cocky. Although I'm injured, I still have the combat power of a 7th grade Middle Human Supreme Realm Peak. Venerable Wind said coldly. Chapter 10:25. A horde of monsters, hee hee. You can still defeat us even if we join forces? Ningyu smiled and said, "If I add the energy form, I wonder if I can defeat you." Ha ha ha. The Wind Venerable laughed wildly at the sky and said, "The energy body in your hand is only useful in blocking the aftermath. Using it against the enemy? It's still lacking." The reason why Venerable Wind was not afraid was because Ningyu's energy form was only at early stage, rank 7. Even with the threat of the purple light in the sky, Venerable Wind was not afraid because he could not use his energy form. You might have misunderstood me. Ningyu knew that Venerable Wind must have misunderstood him. His energy form could only unleash the combat power of early stage rank 7. But Venerable Wind's energy form could unleash the combat power of a middle stage rank 7. Energy form. Beast King, and small energy form. With the three of them joining forces against Venerable Wind, even if Venerable Wind had wings, it would be hard for him to escape. Whoosh! At this moment, the void in the distance suddenly split open. Swoosh! 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 Then 4 figures landed in the area. Intestine Breaker Dragon, Sword of Evil, 8-legged Centipede, and Earthshaker. At this time, the 8-legged Centipede and Earth-shaking Godly Ox had already recovered from their injuries. As for the Sword of Evil, who was at the peak of early stage rank, 7th Supreme Martial Artist, brimming with battle intent. Intestine Breaker Dragon was slightly weaker, only a rank for Supreme Martial Artist. Venerable Wind, if you think your opponent is not strong enough, then add in the Sword of Evil. If Ningyu was still worried earlier, he was completely relieved now. 2 energy forms. One was the Sword of Evil, and the other was the Beast King. When they joined forces, their strength was unparalleled. How could Venerable Wind resist them? Ningyu, have you lost your mind? Venerable Wind looked at Ningyu as if he was looking at an idiot and said, "The main body of the energy is in my hands, and it listens to my orders now. Don't tell me you think it will turn around and deal with me? It will definitely turn against you." Ningyu waved his hand and motioned for the law of space in midair to continue forcing him to abdicate. Moreover, Ningyu spoke in a clear voice. "Energy host, you now have 2 choices. First, turn around and deal with Venerable Wind. Second, die." Ning, you spoke those words casually, as if he wasn't talking to a 7th grade Sovereign Realm intermediate human Sovereign Realm energy source. Ha ha ha! Venerable Wind laughed maniacally again. Then he changed the topic and said coldly, "Ningyu, you've really lost your mind. Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish." As soon as the word "you" fell, Venerable Wind rose from the ground and was the first to charge at Ningyu. "You will pay for your arrogance today." Bang! Before Venerable Wind could reach Ningyu, the Beast King immediately rushed out and blocked the attack for Ningyu. After one move, Venerable Wind and the Beast King each took a few steps back. In the first move, the Beast King was at a disadvantage. Swoosh! Swoosh! Then, the Sword of Evil and the small energy forms rushed out and fought with the Beast King against Venerable Wind. Rumble! With the addition of the 2 new forces, the pressure on the Beast King decreased a lot. Moreover, he seemed to have the upper hand. "Come on, what are you waiting for?" Seeing that the energy form was still hesitating, Ningyu said, "If you don't make a move, I'll refine you and let the small energy form devour you. I'm friendly to my friends, but I'll kill my enemies by hook or by crook." Hearing this, the energy form could not help but shiver. "I'll deal with Venerable Wind for the time being. Anyway, he's controlling me for a while. Once I'm done with Venerable Wind, I'll take the chance to get close to you and kill you." An evil thought rose in the energy form's mind. However, it did not show any neglect on the surface and joined the battle. Swoosh! 2 energy forms. One was the Sword of Evil and the other was the Beast King. The 4 of them teamed up to fight Venerable Wind. Although the Beast King was powerful, it was hard for him to fight them. The Venerable Wind was not an idiot. If he could win, he would fight. If he couldn't, he would run. Where there's life, there's hope. He understood this logic. Therefore, he forced the 4 of them to retreat with one move. Then he rushed out of the broken intestine lake and ran toward Tianqian City. "Let's go!" How could Ningyu let go of the Venerable Wind? As soon as the Venerable Wind rushed out of the broken intestine lake, Ningyu let out a low grunt and followed him. "Ningyu, I'm not going." Above the broken intestine lake, the broken intestine scale dragon said hesitantly, "The little broken intestine scale dragon is not suitable for long-distance travel. I'll leave the broken intestine lake when he grows up." "That's good too." Venerable Yang's self-explosion broke the restriction around the broken intestine lake. "You can leave this place anytime." After pondering for a while, Ningyu said, "When you leave the Broken Intestine Lake, you can go to the Ning family in Tianqian City to look for me. You just have to tell them my name." Buzz. After saying that, Ningyu tore the void apart and went in. The 8-legged centipede and the Earthshaker followed closely behind Ningyu and disappeared in an instant. Tianqian City. Ning family. The Broken Intestine Scale Dragon frowned slightly and went into the Broken Intestine Lake. Rustle. In the inner region of the Magic Beast Ridge, several figures were moving forward at high speed. The one at the very front was the Wind Sage. In order to shake off the pursuers behind him as soon as possible, he exerted all his strength. However, no matter how much Venerable Wind increased his speed, he could not shake off the Beast King and the rest. Damn it! Cursing in his heart, Venerable Wind burned his blood essence to increase his speed as much as possible. Faster, faster! The Beast King and the Sword of Evil followed, closely behind Venerable Wind. They were getting closer and closer to Venerable Wind. Behind the Beast King were 2 energy forms, the parent energy form and the smaller energy form. Both of them did not really want to attack Venerable Wind. It was just that it was inconvenient for them to escape because of the space law behind them. The direction that Venerable Wind is escaping in is Tianqian City. Ning Yu's face darkened. With Venerable Wind's character, he might start a massacre in Tianqian City. Speed up! We must kill Venerable Wind before we reach Tianqian City. Ning Yu transmitted his voice to the Sword of Evil. If Venerable Wind keeps moving so fast, we can definitely catch up to him before he leaves the inner region. The Sword of Evil said in a deep voice, "I hope so." Ning Yu took a deep breath and looked solemn. Time was ticking away. In the blink of an eye, half an hour had passed. Roar, roar! Just as Venerable Wind was about to leave the inner region, there was a terrifying roar coming from the front. Roar, roar, roar. The roar was getting more and more urgent, forcing Venerable Wind to stop. "I'm going to die." After stopping, Venerable Wind looked at the thousands of demonic beasts in front of him. His eyes widened and he cursed. Gulp. Swallowing his saliva, Venerable Wind was a little confused. Demonic beast horde. He actually encountered a demonic beast horde when he was escaping. Chapter 10:26. Surrounded swoosh. Not long after Venerable Wind stopped, the Sword of Evil and the Beast King caught up with them. Gasp! Just like Venerable Wind, the Beast King and the Sword of Evil gasped when they saw the thousands of beasts. Rustle! Soon, Ningyu and the 8-legged centipede arrived at the area. Looking at the overwhelming number of demonic beasts, Ningyu was truly surprised. After recovering from his shock, Ningyu said in a deep voice, "Venerable Wind, there are beasts in front of us and people chasing after us. Where are you going?" Crack! Venerable Wind clenched his fists and cracked them, trying to come up with a plan. Suddenly, Venerable Wind smirked and came up with an idea. Ignoring Ningyu, the Wind Sage walked towards the horde of demonic beasts. At the same time, the Wind Sage unleashed all of his aura, forcing the demonic beasts in front of him to retreat and open up a path for him. Swoosh! As soon as Venerable Wind stepped into the beasts, the path closed. What should we do? Seeing Venerable Wind disappear into the beasts, the Sword of Evil frowned. This isn't good. Ning Yu's face turned solemn, because Ning Yu realized that the beasts in front of them had changed their view of them. From the initial hostility, they became even more hostile. They even wanted to attack them. This was a little awkward. As the saying goes, many hands make a big fire. Although the beasts at the outermost layer were mostly at the Yin-Yang realm and creation realm, Ningyu was sure that there were a lot of supreme realm beasts within. No matter how strong you were, you wouldn't be able to handle the combined forces of these beasts. Ha ha ha! A maniacal laughter came from the beasts. The person who laughed hysterically was none other than Venerable Wind. At this moment, Venerable Wind slowly rose into the air. Beside him, there was a large number of crystals and elixirs for him to consume. Ningyu, you didn't expect this, did you? These demonic beasts all have the same enemy, the Beast King. The corners of Venerable Wind's mouth curled up into an arc, and he said sinisterly, with so many origin crystals and medicinal pills for me to devour, it won't be long before I recover to my peak state. When that time comes, it will be the time of your deaths. Oh, right, look at my memory. Venerable Wind seemed to have forgotten something important. He patted his head and said, You guys won't be able to live for long. With so many beasts, I'm guessing you guys will be killed in half an hour. Ning Yu's heart sank to the bottom. No matter how much he calculated, he didn't expect to meet a group of demonic beasts. He didn't expect that the demonic beasts would have a common enemy. The enemy was recuperating, and they had to expend their strength to fight. If this went on, even if they didn't die in the group of demonic beasts, they would be killed by the recovered Venerable Wind. Break out. Let's split up and run. Ning Yu wasn't a stubborn person. The best way now was to break out of the encirclement. Stay behind to deal with these demonic beasts? What a joke! It would probably be the same as what the Wind Sage had said. Before long, all of them would be killed. This was the principle of ants biting an elephant to death. Whoosh! As if they had guessed that Ningyu would choose to break out of the encirclement, countless demonic beasts began to spread out and surrounded Ningyu and the rest. Damn it! Cursing! Ningyu had no choice but to take out the red demon's sword and face the enemy head-on. Kill! Ningyu wasn't an indecisive person. Since he missed the best opportunity to break out of the encirclement, he would kill in the same direction. Solitaire. With a low roar, Ningyu waved the red demon's sword repeatedly and slashed out hundreds of sword ripples as thick as a person's waist. After advancing to first-grade human supreme, Ningyu could easily slash out hundreds of sword ripples without exhausting his vitality. Roar! Seeing that Ningyu had made his move, the Earthshaker and the eight-legged centipede didn't dare to be negligent. They followed closely behind and used their trump cards. Slash! The Sword of Evil unleashed the aura of an early 7th grade human supreme. With the royal inferior flying sword in hand, he charged into the group of demonic beasts. The Beast King was indeed the Beast King. His pupils turned a little green, and every time a demonic beast looked into his eyes, it would faint on the spot. Ice sorcery. It was an extremely terrifying ice sorcery with shocking power. It's best if both sides suffer. Although the Venerable Wind was devouring yuan crystals and elixirs to recover, his attention was always on the Beast King and Ningyu. These two were his mortal enemies, and he was determined to kill them. No matter what, he wouldn't let the Beast King and Ningyu off. Venerable Wind, I've done what I promised you and given you so many yuan crystals and elixirs. Shouldn't you fulfill your promise? Beside the Venerable Wind, an old man in a green robe said in a deep voice, Rat King, don't worry. I'll definitely tell you where the phantom armor is after I recover. The Venerable Wind waved his hand and said, You're so powerful. How can I be your opponent? Humph. I'll give you another half an hour. If you don't tell me where the phantom armor is by then, I'll definitely teach you a lesson. With a cold snort, the old man moved and disappeared into the ground. The phantom rat is an ancient monster. It's as famous as the sky devour dog. Why would I meet them here? The Venerable Wind's face was extremely solemn. The old man in the green robe was a phantom rat. All the monsters around him listened to his orders. The reason why the monsters chose to attack Ningyu was because the Venerable Wind bragged that he knew where the phantom armor was. That was why the old man in the green robe mobilized the monsters to attack Ningyu and the others. Otherwise, with the strength of the Venerable Wind, he wouldn't be able to mobilize so many monsters. This phantom rat's strength is only at the peak of the 7th grade. Wait for me to recover for a while. Then I'll find a chance to kill him. If one was not ruthless, one would not be able to achieve great things. The venerable wind secretly made up his mind. Once the opportunity was right, he would attack with all his strength and kill the old man in the green robe. At the very least, he would control the old man in the green robe. Only by controlling the old man in the green robe could he be safe and sound. Furthermore, he would be able to gather so many monsters. Pft, pft, pft. The venerable wind was having a good time here. On the battlefield, Ningyu and the others were having a hard time. No matter how they tried to break through, they couldn't create a gap. It was as if the monsters were organized and had a chance. Wherever there was a gap, the monsters would immediately fill it up. Taking turns. The monsters were taking turns to fight. I can't go on like this. Ning Yu forced dozens of creation realm demonic beasts to retreat, and his mind became active. Energy form. It's time to show off your skills. Ning Yu rolled his eyes and thought of a countermeasure. The energy form could transform into multiple streams of energy and fight the enemy together. As long as there was enough energy in the body, the energy form could continuously split and produce a smaller energy form to fight the enemy. If you help me get through this, I'll let you go and no longer control you. In order to retreat smoothly, Ningyu had to make a big decision. The energy form was a great help. If he lost it, it would greatly affect Ningyu's strength. However, the situation before him didn't allow him to think too much. In a situation where he couldn't even protect himself, he had to promise the energy form some benefits before they would listen to him. Chapter 10:27. Shadow Mouse Buzz. Hearing Ningyu's words, both the parent energy body and the smaller energy bodies were very satisfied. Without another word, they started to fission. Swoosh! The parent energy body started to fission first. With the parent energy body as the center, the split energy bodies spread out in all directions. As for the smaller energy bodies, they also started to fission. Compared to the parent energy body, the split energy bodies produced by the smaller energy bodies were slightly weaker. The split energy bodies produced by the smaller energy bodies had the strength of a first-grade human supreme. The split energy bodies produced by the smaller energy bodies had the strength of a half-step supreme martial artist. Bang! 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 Even so, with the addition of so many new forces, the pressure on Ningyu and the rest was instantly reduced. Moreover, some yin-yang realm and creation realm demonic beasts were killed. The parent energy bodies and the smaller energy bodies seemed to have tasted the sweetness. After the fission, they started to fission again. This was because after the countless split energy bodies killed the demonic beasts, they devoured all their energy. As they fist and devoured energy, the parent energy bodies and the smaller energy bodies became stronger and stronger. In the end, the Beast King and the Sword of Evil looked at the masterpiece of the two energy bodies and the smaller energy bodies in shock. *CK, the Dark Crystal. The Beast King couldn't help but curse. If this continued, the fighting strength of the parent energy bodies and the smaller energy bodies would surpass his in a short period of time. When that time came, what should he do? Law of space. When do these two energy bodies become so strong that you won't be able to control them? Ningyu also knew the severity of the problem. He hurriedly communicated with the law of space. Peak 8th grade human supreme? Ningyu was puzzled. There was no response from the law of space. Early stage 8th grade human supreme? Ningyu continued. There was still no response from the law of space. Peak 7th grade human supreme? Ningyu faintly felt that something was wrong. If it continued to decrease, it would really bode ill for them. At this moment, the law of space shook. Whoosh! The movement of the law of space made Ningyu heave a sigh of relief. The parent energy body was a mid-stage 7th grade human supreme. while the smaller energy body was an early stage, 7th grade human supreme. They still had a long way to go before they could advance to the peak 7th grade human supreme. During this period of time, Ningyu and the others could take a break from their busy schedule and seize the time to recover. Don't panic, everyone. I have a way to control these two energy bodies, Ningyu said in a deep voice, signaling everyone not to panic. The current problem wasn't a problem. Among the 8-legged centipede, Earthshaker Divine Ox, Beast King, and Venerable Sword Nefarious, only Venerable Sword Nefarious knew that Ningyu possessed the law of space and the world tree sapling. The Sword of Evil also knew that the law of space could restrict the energy bodies. Therefore, he was the least worried other than Ningyu. The centipede and the Earthshaker were more worried. After all, they had seen the terror of the energy bodies with their own eyes. Ningyu, how confident are you that you can control the energy bodies? The Beast King didn't know that the purple light was the law of space. He hesitated and said, "If we can't, we'd better break out as soon as possible. I know what I'm doing. You're the strongest here. Pay attention to Venerable Wind. Remember not to let him recover to the peak 7th grade human supreme." Ningyu said to the Beast King, "The law of space could only control the energy bodies of pinnacle 7th grade human sovereigns. In other words, as long as Venerable Feng's strength didn't recover to the pinnacle 7th grade human sovereign realm, you would be able to kill him." All right, the Beast King had no choice but to believe in Ningyu. After all, his life was saved by Ningyu. If Ningyu wanted to harm him, he would have done it long ago. Puff, puff, puff. On the battlefield, the parent energy bodies and the smaller energy bodies were getting more and more comfortable. They were killing like fish in water. Ningyu and the Sword of Evil were recuperating. The Beast King was recuperating while he released his perception to pay close attention to the changes in Venerable Wind. Time was always slipping away unknowingly. Boom! In the blink of an eye, an hour had passed. A terrifying aura shot up from Venerable Wind's body. Oh no! Feeling the terrifying aura, Ningyu's face darkened. Peak 7th grade, human supreme. What he feared had come true. Ha ha ha, Ningyu, you didn't expect this, did you? Our Sacred Heaven Sect's cultivation technique is very unique. It's only been an hour, and my strength has recovered to the peak 7th grade human supreme. Venerable Wind laughed wildly. I won't give you a chance this time. I'm going to... The Wind Venerable stopped abruptly halfway through his words. How is this possible? Venerable Wind's eyes were slightly dazed. This was because he saw a scene that shocked him. Under the attack of the two energy bodies, a large number of demonic beasts were killed. Only a group of supreme beasts were left. These supreme beasts didn't dare to move forward. They even started trembling. Nothing is impossible. Seeing that the energy bodies wanted to continue attacking the supreme beasts, Ningyu hurriedly used the law of space to control them. If they continued to devour, the energy bodies would break through to the 8th grade human supreme. Now that the two energy bodies had advanced to the peak 7th grade human supreme, it was the limit that the law of space could control. We'll submit to you for now. Once we've refined the energy completely, we'll kill you too. The main energy body and the smaller energy bodies looked at each other. They could see the excitement in each other's squirming energy. Venerable Wind, as long as I give the order, you'll be turned into minced meat by these two energy bodies. Ningyu's tone was emotionless. I'll give you a chance to live. Tell me why the Sacred Heaven Sect is looking for the extreme Een body. Otherwise I'll boom boom. Before Ningyu could finish his sentence, a huge crack appeared on the ground. Swoosh! Then, an elder in a green robe flew out from the ground. Venerable Wind, now that you've recovered to the peak 7th grade human supreme, it's time to tell me where the phantom armor is. The green-robed old man directly ignored Ningyu and the others, and turned to speak coldly to Venerable Wind. The phantom armor is with that young man. Venerable Wind said coldly, It's with that young man? The green-robed elder frowned and shifted his gaze to Ningyu. While the green-robed elder was sizing him up, Ningyu was also sizing him up. Phantom rat. Ningyu's pupils shrank as waves of shock surged in his heart. The elder in front of him wasn't a human. His true identity should be the phantom rat. Back then, my father went to the magical Beast Mountain range and gave me the phantom armor when he came back. Could it have been stolen from him? Ningyu was a little confused. The green-robed elder's cultivation was at the peak 7th grade, human supreme. Chapter 10:28. Harder than ascending to heaven. Why does this aura feel so familiar? After sizing up Ningyu for a while, the green-robed elder said, Is the phantom armor on you? If it is, take it out and I will spare your life. Senior, I don't know what the phantom armor is. Ningyu answered honestly. Ha ha ha, Ningyu. You said that the phantom armor is not on you? Who are you trying to fool? I advise you to. Uft. Hearing Ningyu's words, Venerable Wind laughed maniacally and started to taunt. However, before the Wind Venerable could finish his words, he felt his body lighten as he was sent flying backwards. Bang! His body crashed heavily into a towering tree, and Venerable Wind's face turned extremely ugly. Originally, Venerable Wind thought that the green-robed elder was a peak 7th grade human supreme, and he had also recovered to the peak 7th grade human supreme. There shouldn't be such a huge difference in their strength. However, reality slapped him in the face. Powerful. The green-robed elder was especially powerful, not to mention that he had only recovered to the peak 7th grade human supreme. Even if he had recovered to his peak, he wouldn't be a match for the green-robed elder. When I'm talking, you better not interrupt. Otherwise, I can't guarantee what will happen. After one move, the green-robed elder said faintly, You better pray that I can find the phantom armor. Otherwise, you should know the consequences. Got it. Although he was furious in his heart, Feng Zunjia still nodded. He had to lower his head when he was under someone else's roof. Since he was weak, he could only endure and wait for an opportunity. Senior, although I don't know what the phantom armor is, I obtained a broken armor from Venerable Wind in the Beast King Palace. I wonder if it's the phantom armor you're looking for. The green-robed elder was a phantom mouse, and he could easily defeat Venerable Wind. Ning, you did not think that they could fight against the green-robed elder. Besides, unless the phantom armor provided a lot of energy, it wouldn't be of much help to Ningyu in future battles. Under this premise, Ningyu's choice to take out the phantom armor was the best choice. On one hand, he could frame the Venerable Wind, and on the other hand, he could avoid a disaster. Phantom armor. Looking at the armor in Ningyu's hands, the green-robed elder revealed a joyful expression. Throw it over. Ningyu tactfully threw the phantom armor to the green-robed old man. Pa! After receiving the phantom armor, the green-robed elder examined it carefully. While the green-robed elder was checking the phantom armor, Ningyu and the others held their breaths, not daring to breathe. After a while, the green-robed elder let out a long breath. Looking at the green-robed elder's action, Ningyu revealed a relieved expression. The phantom armor was broken. During the time in the Beast King Palace, Ningyu had no time to take care of it, so he didn't try to repair it. If the green-robed elder blamed him, the consequences would be unimaginable. Senior, is this the phantom armor? I don't think it's any different from the other armors. Ningyu said carefully, Hee, there's a big difference. Finding the phantom armor, the green-robed elder was in a good mood. He waved his hand at the parent energy body and the small energy body, and said, Both of you, come over here. Spit out all the energy that you haven't refined. Swoosh! the parent energy body, and the small energy body's heart sank. They were storing energy for the sake of killing Ningyu later. The green-robed elder's request directly destroyed their plan to kill Ningyu and then escape. How could they be happy? You don't want to? In that case, I have to do it myself. The green-robed old man's expression was devoid of joy or sorrow. He said indifferently, "I'll say the ugly words first. If I were to come personally, the two of you energy bodies would have been annihilated. After all, I've killed at least 8 to 10 energy bodies." Buzz, the parent energy body, and the small energy body had no choice but to sacrifice the pure energy that they had stored. 2 beams of energy shot toward the green-robed old man in unison. "Go in." Looking at the energy light beams flying toward him, the green-robed elder flicked his wrist and directly threw the phantom armor into the air. He used a secret method to guide the energy into the phantom armor. Crack! As the energy continued to be injected, the phantom armor made cracking sounds. In just a few minutes, the phantom armor was completely repaired. King, level medium grade. Crack! Crack! After repairing the phantom armor, the green-robed elder didn't stop but continued to guide the energy into the phantom armor. Time continued to pass. Bang! Half an hour later, a muffled sound came from the phantom armor. King, level high grade. After half an hour of refining, the phantom armor had been refined to the king, level high grade, by the green-robed elder. I'll say it one last time. Send all the extra energy over. Obviously, the green-robed elder wasn't satisfied with the phantom armor's upgrade to the king, level high grade. Swoosh! Swoosh! Seeing the green-robed elder was angry, the parent energy body and the small energy body had to use all the extra energy. Bang! Another half an hour later, a muffled sound came from the phantom armor again. At this moment, the phantom armor was upgraded to the king, level high grade. Moreover, it was only one step away from breaking through the limit and advancing to the emperor level. Gulp! Seeing the phantom armor's soaring grade, Ningyu and the others all swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Terrifying. It was too terrifying. No wonder it was the treasure of the Phantom Rat Clan. It could recover so quickly. As long as there was energy, the Phantom armor could continue to upgrade. The King level high grade should be the highest grade of the Phantom armor at this stage. Taking a deep breath, Ningyu murmured, "All of you, use all the Yuan Qi in your body and inject it into the Phantom armor." The green-robed elder wasn't satisfied with the phantom armor's upgrade to the king level high grade. Swoosh! The green-robed elder's words made Ningyu's face turn ugly. Although it was ugly, Ningyu had no choice but to use all the Yuan Qi in his body and inject it into the phantom armor. In addition to Ningyu, the Earthshaker, the 8-legged centipede, the Sword of Evil, and the Beast King also injected their Yuan Qi into the phantom armor. Fishing in troubled waters. Venerable Wind quietly retreated behind the towering giant tree, trying to fish in troubled waters. Humph! I don't want to say the same thing twice. The green-robed elder snorted coldly. Venerable Wind thought that his little move wasn't seen by the green-robed elder, but he didn't know that nothing could escape the green-robed elder's perception. All right. Venerable Wind's face was bitter. He had to use all the Yuan Qi in his body and inject it into the phantom armor without reservation. Crack! With the infusion of energy from Ningyu and the others, the phantom armor kept making cracking sounds. The phantom armor was at the king level high grade. To advance to the emperor level, it needed a lot of energy. Chapter 1029. Emperor rank, all of you come over here. Inject your energy into the phantom armor. Since he had decided to refine the phantom armor, the green-robed old man definitely wanted to refine it to the monarch rank. Not enough energy? There was no need to be anxious. In any case, there were still many supremacy realm demonic beasts in the surroundings. Buzz, buzz. Although the cultivation of these demonic beasts was relatively low, with most of them being in the half-step supremacy realm and first-grade human supremacy realm, their numbers were huge. With so many demonic beasts releasing their energy at the same time, this lineup was very spectacular. At this rate, the low-grade royal rank phantom armor's defensive power will be astonishing. Ning Yu's attention was always on the phantom armor. The phantom armor was a defensive treasure. Even at a lower rank, it could withstand the attacks of a higher rank martial artist. It was obvious that once he advanced into the monarch rank, his defensive ability would definitely multiply. Transformation. At the critical moment, the green-robed old man forced out a drop of blood essence and dripped it on the phantom armor. No changes. Seeing that there was no change to the phantom armor, the green-robed elder forced out another 2 drops of blood essence and dripped them on the phantom armor. Damn it! 3 drops of blood essence did not cause any waves. The green-robed old man cursed and immediately forced out a few more drops of blood essence. Buzz! With so much essence, blood dripping on the mirage armor, the armor couldn't help but tremble. Faster! The transformation of the phantom armor caused the green-robed old man's face to be filled with joy as he hurriedly said. Helpless, Ningyu and the rest could only desperately inject their primordial chi into the phantom armor. Bang, bang, bang! Not long after, the surrounding low-level demonic beasts were sent flying several meters away and fell to the ground. At first, everyone took the initiative to inject energy into the phantom armor. Now they had no choice but to inject energy into the phantom armor. Bang! Bang! A series of banging sounds rang out, and a few more demonic beasts were sent flying. After all the low-level demon beasts were ejected, the 8-legged centipede and the earthshaker could not hold on any longer. They sat on the ground, panting heavily. After that were the sword of evil, the beast king, and the venerable wind. Up until now, only Ningyu and the 2 energy bodies could hold on. Done! After a few more minutes, when Ningyu and the 2 energy bodies could not hold on any longer, the green-robed old man shouted, "Rumble!" As the green-robed old man uttered the word "become," the void above the phantom armor suddenly cracked and a huge gap appeared. Pucci! The moment the huge gap formed, Ningyu spat out a mouthful of blood and couldn't help but take a few steps back. As for the 2 energy bodies, the energy in their bodies was almost exhausted and they were in a sorry state. Kacha! In midair, a lightning bolt as thick as a person's waist blasted straight at the phantom armor. Calamity of magic treasures. The Dharma treasure tribulation was a tribulation that every Dharma treasure had to endure to advance to the emperor level. If one could withstand it, they could successfully advance to the emperor level. If they could not withstand it, they would be turned into ashes. Kacha! Kacha! The first thunderbolt blasted down, but it did not affect the phantom armor at all. After all, the phantom armor was a defensive Dharma treasure. If the first lightning bolt could break it, wouldn't it be called the treasure of the phantom rat clan? Following the first bolt of lightning, several more bolts of lightning poured down from the sky. Although the phantom armor had an extremely strong defense, it could not withstand the lightning bolts at the same time. Kacha! Kacha! Dense cracks appeared on the surface, and the phantom armor seemed to be on the verge of breaking. I wonder if the phantom armor can withstand the Dharma treasure tribulation. After watching for a while, Ningyu stopped paying attention to it and started to cultivate using the spiritual art. According to Ningyu's guess, once the phantom armor advanced to the emperor level, the green-robed old man would definitely take it away. At that time, it would be time for him to fight with Venerable Wind. If he did not cultivate now, wouldn't he be done for when Venerable Wind recovered to his peak state? Not only was Ningyu cultivating, but even the Beast King and the others were doing their best to cultivate. To be honest, whether the phantom armor could advance to the emperor level or not had little to do with them. The only way was to recover to the peak state as soon as possible. Gotcha! Toward the end, the phantom armor had more and more cracks. Cracks kept appearing on the phantom armor. The green-robed old man saw it and remembered it in his heart. There was nothing he could do. The Dharma Treasure Tribulation needed the Dharma Treasure Tribulation to pass by itself. If others helped, it was likely to cause the Dharma Treasure Tribulation to become stronger, which would lead to the failure of the tribulation. Time continued to pass. In the blink of an eye, an hour had passed. In this hour, the phantom armor had withstood hundreds of lightning bolts. Every thunderbolt power poured on the phantom armor without any reservation. Swoosh! After the hundreds of lightning bolts poured down, there was a short period of silence in the void. The silence did not last long, and it was soon broken by a swoosh. In midair, a huge lightning bolt slowly appeared. What the F***? Looking at the power of thunder that appeared in the air, even though the green-robed old man was serious, he couldn't help but swear at this moment. It's over. It's over. There's no chance. Although the phantom armor was the treasure of the phantom rat clan, the green-robed old man was not optimistic about the phantom armor after seeing the huge lightning bolt. The green-robed old man had never heard of such a powerful thunderbolt. He had never seen it before. Under the green-robed old man's shocked gaze, the huge lightning bolt suddenly bombarded the phantom armor. Bang! A crisp sound came from the phantom armor. Ningyu and the others stopped cultivating and shifted their gaze to the phantom armor in midair. Boom! Ningyu and the others were dumbfounded. The phantom armor had done something beyond everyone's expectations. A terrifying devouring force erupted from its body and swallowed the huge lightning bolt into its body. Holy F***! Ningyu and the others widened their eyes and mouths as if they had seen a ghost. Lower royal class. After devouring the power of thunder, the phantom armor actually completed an almost impossible transformation. It had advanced from the Supreme King class to the lower royal class. This situation obviously made Ningyu and the others dumbfounded. Ha ha ha! Feeling the energy emitted from the phantom armor, the green-robed old man threw his head back and laughed. He was very proud of himself. Originally, the order he received was to evacuate all the mirage mice in Magical Beast Mountain Range. Never had he imagined that he'd actually found the lost mirage armor by chance. Moreover, he'd even refined it to the low-grade monarch rank. One last step. The green-robed old man knew the gravity of the situation. He knew that there was one more important thing he had to do to bring the phantom armor away. That was to completely destroy the soul imprint in the phantom armor. The phantom armor had already been recognized by someone else. Only by destroying it could another person control it. Oh no! Seeing the green-robed old man's action, Ningyu's pupils shrank. He was the one who left the soul imprint in the phantom armor. Chapter 1030. Recapture. Senior. Has the phantom armor really advanced to the low-grade monarch rank? Ningyu thought of a countermeasure in his mind. Before he could recover to his peak state, Ningyu moved his feet and arrived before the green-robed old man. And then he asked, I remember that the phantom armor was only a mid-grade king rank not long ago. Yet it has advanced to the monarch rank. Haha. Of course it's the monarch rank. The green-robed elder smiled and said, No matter what, you were the one who helped me find the phantom armor. How about this? After I remove the soul imprint from the phantom armor, I'll let you test its defense. In that case, thank you, Senior. Ningyu awkwardly scratched his head and said, Step back, I'm going to... Oh no. The green-robed old man waved his hand. Then he unleashed his perception and tried to enter the phantom armor. However, as soon as the green-robed old man released his perception, his face changed drastically before he even entered the phantom armor. Left Mouse King were under siege. Come quickly. Space surged in midair, and then it transformed into a row of large words. Damn it! Cursing inwardly, the green-robed elder grabbed the mirage armor, tore space apart, and dived into it. Phantom armor, come back! After the green-robed elder entered the void, Ningyu tried to communicate with the phantom armor. Whoosh! Who would have thought that Ningyu's communication would cause the phantom armor to fly out of the void? I'm so mad. Who is it? Following that, the green-robed elder's shout came from the void. Senior, it's the venerable wind of the ice domain's sacred heavenly gate. How could Ningyu miss such a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? He shouted hastily, Venerable wind, sacred heaven gate. Just you wait. The green-robed old man's vicious voice rang out, but it quickly disappeared. The space that had been torn apart in midair also closed up, and everything returned to normal. That was close. It wasn't until 4 or 5 minutes later that Ningyu recovered from the shock and thought to himself that it was a close call. Ningyu was just testing it, but unexpectedly the phantom armor directly tore through the void and flew back, hovering above his head. The green-robed old man was careless. If he had removed my soul imprint first, I would not have been able to control the phantom armor. Ningyu felt a little scared. A single misstep would have caused everlasting sorrow. But overall, it wasn't a loss this time. The blame had already been shifted to Venerable Wind, shifted to the Sacred Heaven sect. Even if the Phantom Rat clan wanted to cause trouble in the future, they wouldn't look for him. They would definitely look for the Sacred Heaven Gate and Venerable Wind. Ningyu. On the other side, Venerable Wind clenched his fists tightly. His face was filled with rage. Venerable Wind had never been so angry before. How could he escape after being targeted by the Phantom Rat clan? Not to mention the fact that he hadn't recovered to his peak state yet. Even if he did and advanced to the 9th grade Human Supreme, it wouldn't be of any use. The Phantom Rat was the same as the Sky Devourer dog. They were both ancient demonic beasts. Any random left Rat King had the cultivation of a peak 7th grade Human Supreme. One could imagine that the Emperor among them must be extremely terrifying. Venerable Wind. With a thought, Ningyu put on the phantom armor. No matter what, wearing the phantom armor instantly boosted Ningyu's confidence. The phantom armor was the treasure of the Phantom Rat clan. Now, it had advanced to the lower grade of the Emperor rank. With Venerable Wind's current strength, he couldn't break it at all. None of us are at our peak state. According to my estimation, you only have about the battle power of a 3rd grade Human Supreme. Ningyu said indifferently, Humph. Even though I only have about the battle power of a 3rd grade Human Supreme, you're not any better. Venerable Wind snorted coldly. If I'm not wrong, your strength has also declined greatly. As for the Beast King, the Sword of Evil, the Earthshaker, and the 8-legged Centipede, they only have the battle power of a 1st grade Human Supreme. Even if you guys join forces, you won't be my match. You can give it a try, Ningyu said indifferently. Ningyu, as long as you hand over the phantom armor, I can give you a quick death. Suddenly, Venerable Wind thought of something and said in a deep voice, You're going to die anyway. It's a waste to leave a treasure like the phantom armor on you. You want the phantom armor? Ningyu raised his eyebrows. I can give you the phantom armor, but the condition is that you think you can negotiate with me? If you know what's good for you, then hand over the phantom armor. Otherwise, I'll let you know what cruelty is. Venerable Wind interrupted Ningyu's words and said coldly, You won't even agree to my condition. Why should I give you the phantom armor? Ning, you rejected. You're courting death. Feng Zunjia loudly cursed when he heard Ningyu's refusal. Immediately, he rose from the ground and charged towards Ningyu. Watch out. The Beast King and the Sword of Evil immediately warned. Bang! However, Just as the Beast King and the Sword of Evil's warning rang out, Ningyu was struck by Venerable Wind's fist on his chest and flew out like a kite with a broken string. Uft! Ningyu's face turned pale as he spurted out a mouthful of blood. Don't do anything. Seeing that the Beast King and the Sword of Evil wanted to help, Ningyu immediately stood up and wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. He said in a low voice, "A mere Venerable Wind can't do anything to me." Ha ha ha! Venerable Wind laughed maniacally. Then he changed the topic and said coldly, "Ningyu, killing you is easier than killing an ant." "Is that so?" Ningyu wasn't scared by Venerable Wind. Instead, he said, "I'd like to see how outstanding the sacred heaven gates, Venerable Wind, is. If you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish." Being looked down upon by Ningyu again and again, Venerable Wind was furious. "I'm about to kill you with my first move, and you're still talking big? There's a good saying, you won't die if you don't ask for it. Rumble." Venerable Wind and Ningyu started fighting in midair. It was obvious that Ningyu was at a disadvantage. "Sword of Evil, you're more familiar with Ningyu. Can you tell me what he's doing?" Seeing that Ningyu was at a disadvantage with every move and was almost hit a few times, the Beast King couldn't help but look worried. "I'm not sure either." The Sword of Evil shook his head and said, "Ningyu is a scheming person. He must have his reasons for doing this." "Reasons?" The Beast King frowned slightly and said, "What's the use? Venerable Wind has already recovered to the 3rd grade human supreme martial artist realm. If we don't help Ningyu, Ningyu might be defeated or even killed." Bang! As he spoke, Ningyu was hit by Venerable Wind again, and his body flew out again. This time, Ningyu's injuries were much more serious. Ningyu stood up shakily from the ground, flicked his wrist, and drew out the red demon sword. Venerable Wind, you want to kill me? It's not that easy." Chapter 1031. Ningyu, you're still so stubborn even at death's door. I have to say, you're the most arrogant warrior I've ever met. The corner of Venerable Wind's mouth curled up. "You're finished, completely finished. I'll give you one last. No need. I've said it before. It won't be that easy for you to kill me," Ningyu said in a deep voice. "All right, I'll fulfill your wish." Venerable Wind's eyes turned cold. He rose from the ground and charged at Ningyu again. Swoosh! Swoosh! This time, the Beast King and the Sword of Evil couldn't bear to watch any longer. The two of them tore through the void and arrived in front of Ningyu, blocking a fatal blow for Ningyu. "You two have deep feelings for each other. Since you're courting death, I'll get rid of you before I kill Ningyu." Venerable Wind wasn't a stubborn person. He didn't rush to kill Ningyu. Instead, he changed his direction and started to attack the Beast King and the Sword of Evil. The Beast King and the Sword of Evil's current battle strength was only equivalent to a grade 1 human supreme. However, Venerable Wind was equivalent to a grade 3 human supreme. Even if the Beast King and the Sword of Evil joined forces, they definitely wouldn't be a match for Venerable Wind. Bang! Bang! Reality proved. It wasn't that Venerable Wind was arrogant. It was that the Beast King and the Sword of Evil weren't a match for Venerable Wind at all. Venerable Wind only used 2 moves to defeat the Beast King and the Sword of Evil. Go! The 8-legged centipede and Earthshaker glanced at each other before flashing out in unison, and they charged towards the Wind Venerable One. Bang! The outcome of the 8-legged centipede and the rest was not much different from that of the Beast King. In fact, their ending was even more miserable than the Beast King's. Venerable Wind defeated the Earthshaker and the 8-legged centipede with just 1 move. "Venerable Wind, if you want the phantom armor, I can give it to you." At this time, Ningyu's voice sounded in the area. "Oh, you're enlightened?" Hearing this, Venerable Wind turned around and looked at Ningyu. He said, "Throw the phantom armor over." I will let them go after I confirm that there are no other problems. Whoosh! Ning Yu took off the phantom armor and threw it to Venerable Wind. Ding! However, Ning Yu's strength was obviously insufficient. He only managed to throw the phantom armor 10 feet in front of him. Don't try to play tricks. Venerable Wind unleashed his senses and paid close attention to Ning Yu's changes. Then he approached the phantom armor step by step. During this time, Ning Yu was still swaying, and there was no change in his expression. Phantom armor. Venerable Wind stopped 10 feet away from Ning Yu and carefully grabbed the phantom armor in his hand. Venerable Wind, don't you want to get rid of the soul imprint in the phantom armor? Ning Yu's voice was heard again. The phantom armor has recognized me as its owner. If you want to control it, you must get rid of the soul imprint I left in it. You don't have to worry about that. I know what I'm doing. Venerable Wind put the phantom armor in a storage bag and said coldly, "Since you've been obedient, I'll give you a quick death." As soon as the word quick was said, Venerable Wind's body gradually became illusory. In a split second, Venerable Wind appeared beside Ning Yu. Swoosh! A punch brought with it an extremely violent Yuan Qi wind as it fiercely punched towards Ning Yu's head. Although Venerable Wind did not use his full strength in this punch, he still used 90% of his strength. From Venerable Wind's point of view, Ning Yu would definitely be killed by him. What? However, before Venerable Wind's fist could land on Ning Yu's head, his expression changed. This was because Venerable Wind realized that Ning Yu had disappeared in front of him. Not good, there's a plan. Venerable Wind shouted and immediately retreated. It's a little too late to realize it now. Ning Yu quietly appeared behind Venerable Wind with a red demon sword in his hand and pierced through Venerable Wind's heart. Impossible! This is absolutely impossible. Didn't you lose your ability to fight? Why didn't your combat power weaken, but instead become stronger? Venerable Wind roared like a madman. There's a saying that goes, "You can't catch the wolf without risking the child." Ning Yu shrugged and said, "If I didn't pretend to lose my ability to fight and didn't pretend to be crazy, would you have fallen for it?" Impossible. Beast King and the rest acted very realistically. Venerable Wind still did not believe it. In order to kill you, I didn't even tell Beast King and the rest. I tried to be as realistic as possible. As he spoke, Ning Yu withdrew the red demon sword and said, "To be able to die under the red demon sword, consider it a blessing from your past life." Uft! When the red demon sword left Venerable Wind's body, Venerable Wind spat out a mouthful of blood and fell to the ground. Phew! When everything was settled, Ning Yu let out a long sigh of relief. This trip to Beast King's palace was too dreamy. His cultivation had advanced to grade 1 human supreme martial artist, and he had also received the Earthshaker, the 8-legged centipede, and the Sword of Evil, these powerful beasts and martial artists. The phantom armor had also advanced to lower grade royal level, and its defense had greatly increased. Most importantly, he had saved his father, Ning Hai, and removed the extreme Yin body from Lu Wei. Everything caused Ning Yu to feel that it was unreal, but all of this had indeed happened. Buzz! Just as Ning Yu was feeling emotional, the main energy body and the small energy body tore through the void and escaped while Ning Yu was unprepared. Wanna leave? Not so easy. Law of space. Ning Yu bellowed, directly activating the law of space. The strength of the main energy body and the small energy body was greatly reduced. Naturally, they were no match for the law of space. Soon, they were escorted by the law of space to Ning Yu. Swish, swish. The two energy bodies kept swaying, as if saying that Ning Yu had said that he would let them go as long as they survived the crisis. I did say that I would let you go as long as you survived the crisis. But now, the crisis is not over yet. Ning Yu said you'd better behave. Otherwise, I can't guarantee what will happen. Helpless, the two energy bodies could only stay in the air, not daring to act rashly. Without the law of space, they would have escaped long ago, and they would have killed Ningyu as well. Now that the law of space was watching, they naturally had no chance to escape. Clap, clap, clap. Not long after Ningyu's voice faded, a series of popping sounds rang out from the void. Buzz. Thereafter, two cultivators tore through the void and appeared before Ningyu. Yun Mu, Talisman Venerable. Looking at the two familiar silhouettes, Ningyu did not feel excited. On the contrary, he revealed a grave expression. The reason for that was because their cultivations had increased by leaps and bounds. Among them, Yun Mu had advanced to 3rd grade Sovereign. As for Talisman Venerable, he had advanced to 5th grade Sovereign. In his peak state, Ningyu would definitely not be afraid of the two of them. However, Ningyu's strength had declined too much. After his battle with Venerable Wind, only death awaited him if he were to face Yun Mu and Talisman Venerable. Chapter 1032. Don't understand a scholar who has been away for 3 days must be treated differently. Looks like this saying is right. After the Talisman Supremacy appeared, the first thing he did was to look at Ningyu. Sensing the aura emanating from Ningyu, the Talisman Supremacy was a little shocked. Grade 1 Human Sovereign. Ningyu's cultivation had already advanced from half-step Sovereign to Grade 1 Human Sovereign. This advancement speed was truly terrifying. Talisman Supremacy. I think the phrase treated differently is more suitable for you and Yun Mu. Since the Talisman Supremacy did not make a move immediately, Ningyu relaxed a little. It seemed like the Talisman Supremacy was rather fearful of the Beast King and the Sword of Evil. As the saying goes, a starving camel is still bigger than a horse. At his peak, the Beast King was an early grade 8 human sovereign. At his peak, the Sword of Evil was a peak grade 8 human sovereign. As the Talisman Supremacy was not here just now, he did not know that the Beast King and the Sword of Evil were extremely weak and frail. Haha, the Talisman Supremacy looked around and smiled. I'm very curious. There's so many demonic beasts around. How did you kill them all? One by one? Ningyu said indifferently. His tone did not change. Swish. As he spoke, Ningyu sat down cross-legged and circulated the spiritual art to absorb the surrounding essence energy. Seeing Ningyu's actions, the Talisman Supremacy was a little dumbfounded. I'm talking to you and you're doing this? Just what is going on? Aunt Yin, beside the Talisman Supremacy, Yun Mu said hesitantly, let's leave as soon as possible. I've received news that the 9 Cauldrons Divine Pavilion's Grand Elder has already set off. It won't be long before he reaches Profound Sky City. I know what I'm doing. The Talisman Supremacy waved his hand, indicating that Yun Mu did not need to ask. Let's test the waters first. Venerable Talisman Marshal stepped on the ground and charged at Ningyu. As he charged, the Talisman Marshal Venerable laughed. Ningyu, you've advanced to the 1st grade human sovereign realm. Let me spar with you and see how your talent is. Old Fox, faced with the Talisman Martial Supremacy that kept charging towards him, Ningyu's face turned extremely gloomy. Without much time to think, Ningyu quickly injected all the essence in his sea of consciousness into the phantom armor and gathered it in front of his chest. Bang! Talisman Supremacy's fist landed on Ningyu's chest. A crisp sound rang out. Ningyu's body was forcibly sent flying, and he only stopped when he hit a huge tree. Ha ha ha, not bad at all. Seeing that Ningyu had blocked his attack and was unscathed, the Talisman Marshal Venerable was briefly stunned before he burst into laughter. Ningyu, if I've guessed correctly, your overall strength should be comparable to a 5th grade sovereign realm. The Talisman Marshal Venerable was extremely shocked in his heart. Earlier, he had used 80% of his strength in that punch. An ordinary first-grade sovereign wouldn't be able to withstand a punch from a fifth-grade sovereign realm with 80% of his strength. Ningyu, on the other hand, was able to block it and seemed to be completely fine. Talisman, Martial, Venerable must be joking. How can I be comparable to a fifth-grade sovereign realm? Although he hated the Talisman, Martial, Venerable in his heart, Ningyu maintained his composure and said, I still have to thank you for showing mercy. Otherwise, I would be a dead man by now. Haha, don't be modest. You're truly powerful. The Talisman, Martial, Venerable lightly smiled as he asked, Yunmu and I intend to make a trip to the profound Sky City. I wonder if you want to come along? You guys go first. I still have some matters to attend to here. Ningyu said after a brief pondering. Return to the profound Sky City with the Talisman, Martial, Venerable? Ningyu wasn't that foolish. His top priority now was to recover to his peak state. The reason why Ningyu was able to withstand Talisman Martial Supremacy's punch was that he had injected all his primordial energy into the phantom armor. He relied on the phantom armor to withstand the blow. Otherwise, Ningyu would have died a long time ago. Since that's the case, then we'll retreat. The Talisman, Martial, Venerable grabbed onto Yunmu's shoulder and tore through space. Huff! Everything left as quickly as it had come. A long time after the Talisman, Martial, Venerable disappeared, Ningyu heavily breathed out a mouthful of turbid air. That was close. Fortunately, the green-robed elder had refined the Mirage armor to low-grade Monarch rank. Otherwise, it would be impossible for Ningyu to withstand the Talisman, Martial, Venerable's attack. Dark Emperor, come out. After waiting for another hour, Ningyu's heart jolted, and he shouted in a low voice. Swoosh! The Dark Emperor had been waiting for this moment. As soon as Ningyu spoke, he darted out of the storage ring. His target was Venerable Wind. Venerable Wind was an early-stage 8th-grade sovereign. Although his strength had declined greatly, the energy in his body was still massive. The Dark Emperor was a heaven-devouring hound. He could devour the heavens, earth, and air. He was the best at devouring Venerable Wind. Wait for me for half an hour. The Dark Emperor grabbed Venerable Wind and disappeared in an instant. Parent energy body, small energy body, come here. Ningyu waved his hand at the two energy bodies, gesturing for them to come over. Swoosh! Swoosh! The two energy bodies did not dare to delay. They fluttered and came before Ningyu. I promised that as long as you guys help me get through this, I'll let you guys go and return your freedom. Ningyu said indifferently, I'm not a man who goes back on his words. You guys can leave. Hearing Ningyu's words, the parent energy body and the small energy body were stunned. To be honest, they were a little confused. Ning, you let them go just like that? It didn't make sense at all. Weren't humans extremely cunning? With such a good opportunity, the parent energy body and the small energy body would not believe Ningyu. There must be something wrong when something was out of the ordinary. The parent energy body and the small energy body were still hovering in the air and did not leave for a long time. Law of space. Ningyu knew what the two energy bodies were worried about. He controlled the law of space to return to his divine sense and lay dormant. After doing all this, Ningyu found a random rock and sat down. He closed his eyes and started cultivating the spirit transformation technique. Ning, you did not have time to argue with the two energy bodies. He had a lot of things to do, and his time was limited. He must first recover to his peak state and then return to Tianqian City to find a way to cure his father in this life, Ning Hai. Right. Suddenly, Ning Yu seemed to have thought of something and hurriedly summoned Ning Hai from his storage ring. Beast King, Ning is still controlled by the Diamond Goat. You should know how to cure him. Ning Yu looked at Beast King and said in a deep voice, when the Diamond Goat left the magic treasure cave, the masked man who followed it was Ning Hai. The Diamond Goat was one of the 4 King Kongs under Beast King's command. Therefore, the diamond goat, must know how to cure Ninghai. Beast King might even know some secrets about Ninghai. However, what Beast King said next made Ning want to curse. Controlled by the diamond goat? I don't know. I haven't paid attention to the diamond goat for 18 years. Chapter 1033. Another enemy. Are you sure you're not kidding me? Ningyu's mouth was slightly agape and his eyes widened in confusion. You're the Beast King of the Beast King Palace, the direct superior of the 4 great guardian deities. How dare you say you don't know what the 4 great guardian deities have been doing for 18 years? Who would believe such words if they were told? Why would I joke with you? I really don't know. The Beast King felt aggrieved. He had been in the Beast King Palace for more than a decade and had devoted himself to refining the Supreme Deity Pill. He had no time to care about other things. Fine, I choose to believe you. After taking a deep breath, Ningyu said, How long will it take for you and the Sword of Evil to recover completely? It will take at least 1 or 2 months to recover completely. The Beast King thought for a while and said, It will take about 2 or 3 hours to recover to the 7th grade human supreme level. I won't be able to recover to my peak state in a short time either. It will take about 3 hours to recover to the 7th grade early stage human supreme level, the Sword of Evil said. 8-legged centipede. Earthshaker, you're still too young. Ningyu looked at the 8-legged centipede and the Earthshaker and asked, We're demonic beasts with strong recovery abilities. We can recover to our peak state in 2 hours. The Earthshaker and the 8-legged centipede said at the same time, There's no time to lose. Let's make the best use of our time to recuperate. We'll set off for Tianqian City in 3 hours. Ningyu shouted in a low voice. Then, with a thought, he controlled the storage ring to shoot out a beam of light, covering Ning high inside. Since the Beast King couldn't cure Ningyu, it was safer to keep him in the storage ring. Buzz. At this moment, the main energy body and the smaller energy bodies moved slowly and came before Ningyu. What do you want? I've already let you go. Why are you still bothering me? Looking at the 2 energy bodies in front of him, Ningyu asked doubtfully. The parent energy body and the smaller energy bodies just kept trembling, but didn't say anything. Forget it. Whether you leave or not has nothing to do with me. Ningyu curled his lips before he sat down cross-legged and began cultivating using the spirit conversion technique. Swoosh! The main energy form and the small energy form were unwilling to leave. The 2 of them kept circling above Ningyu's head and kept making noises. Ning, you couldn't be bothered with them. The most important thing was to recover to his peak state. The second thing was to manage the energy body. Ningyu knew his priorities. He wholeheartedly focused on recovering, only separating a wisp of his perception to pay close attention to the changes in his surroundings. He could cultivate, but he had to ensure his own safety. Ningyu was not afraid of the 2 energy bodies because he had the law of space. If they weren't prepared when other experts came over, they would really be finished. Drip, drip. Time was ticking away. In the blink of an eye, an hour had passed. During this hour, Ningyu and the rest had been cultivating. Among them, the 8-legged centipede and the Earthshaker had recovered 80% and were just a step away from recovering to their peak state. The Beast King and the Sword of Evil had only recovered to the 6th grade human supreme martial artist level. They would need at least 2 more hours to recover to the 7th grade early stage human supreme martial artist level. Ningyu was different from them. Ningyu recovered very quickly. After an hour, he had already recovered to his peak state. Swoosh! After recovering to his peak state, Ningyu stood up with a swoosh. Swoosh! However, just as Ningyu stood up, the 2 energy bodies came before him and kept trembling. Can you 2 say something? Forget it. You are energy bodies and haven't reached the level where you can speak. Halfway through his sentence, Ningyu stopped. playing the lute to a cow. The energy bodies could understand what he said, but he couldn't understand what the energy bodies were saying. They couldn't communicate at all. Swoosh! At this moment, the Dark Emperor flew back from afar. Holy **T. Feeling the aura emitted by the Dark Emperor, Ningyu raised his eyebrows and was shocked. A first-grade human supreme martial artist. Terrifying, extremely terrifying. While being shocked, Ningyu was a little confused. Dark Emperor, I remember you saying that even if you were given 10,000 royal grade essence crystals, you wouldn't be able to advance to the half-step supreme martial artist level. How did you advance to the first-grade human supreme martial artist level just by devouring the venerable wind? Ningyu was confused. That's nothing. I found a treasure on the venerable wind, and after devouring it, I advanced to the first-grade human supreme martial artist level. The Dark Emperor said casually. Although the Dark Emperor said it casually, Ningyu could see some clues from the Dark Emperor's curly hair. The Dark Emperor's advancement wasn't smooth. It was much more difficult for a demonic beast to advance to the supreme martial artist level than a human. The fact that the Dark Emperor could advance from the pinnacle of the manifestation realm to the first-grade human supreme martial artist meant that he had endured pain that Changsho couldn't. Why, I've already devoured the venerable wind. What do you want? Seeing that Ningyu was still looking at him as if he was a monster, the Dark Emperor took a few steps back and said, I didn't fight with you for the venerable wind. You gave it to me. Don't be unkind. It's fine. I'm very kind. Ningyu smiled and said, now that you've advanced to the first-grade human supreme martial artist level, why don't we have a spar? Sure, let's. I'll do it. The Dark Emperor nodded and replied. However, as soon as the Dark Emperor finished his words, Ningyu rose from the ground and dashed out. The Dark Emperor cursed. Not daring to be careless, he opened his mouth and spat out a cold light. Universe palm. Ningyu flipped his wrist and slapped out a palm in the blink of an eye. In midair, half-Etienne character appeared and clashed with the cold light that the Dark Emperor had spewed out. Kacha! Crisp sounds rang out from the two spears before dissipating between heaven and earth. Ningyu, what are you trying to do? After the attack, the Dark Emperor's face darkened and he said, You're trying to sneak up on me? This is simply, take this. The Dark Emperor spat out another ray of cold light when Ningyu was caught off guard. I knew you would use this move. The corner of Ningyu's lips rose, and he slapped out another palm. It was the same palm and the same cold light. Kacha! A crisp sound rang out. The cold light and palm disappeared, and the Dark Emperor and Ningyu stopped their spar. Ningyu, how did you? The Dark Emperor grumbled. Don't speak. Ningyu frowned and gestured for the Dark Emperor not to speak first. Hearing this, the Dark Emperor tactfully shut his mouth. Every time Ningyu did this, something big was about to happen. Boom! As expected. 3 seconds later, the space in the distance was torn apart. Soon after, several figures appeared from within. Ningyu's face turned gloomy when he saw the sudden appearance of several figures. Ningyu had seen most of these people before. Beast King's 4 great Vajra, 6-winged flying python. Only the skinny old man at the front was someone that Ningyu didn't recognize. It didn't matter if he didn't recognize him, but Ningyu didn't dare to relax at all. Chapter 1034. Blood River Patriarch. Blood River Patriarch. Ningyu was not the only one who was shocked. Even the Beast King, who was trying his best to recover, was shocked. The Beast King's shock was different from Ningyu's. Ningyu was worried that he would not be able to deal with the old man, while the Beast King was stunned. Haha, Beast King, it's been a few decades. How have you been? Blood River Patriarch smiled at the Beast King and asked curiously, I remember that you were an early-stage, Earth-grade supreme martial artist a long time ago. Why are you regressing after a few decades? If I'm not wrong, you haven't even reached Earth-grade supreme martial artist. Ha ha ha. At the end of his words, Patriarch Blood River laughed to himself. Diamond Ape. The Beast King ignored Blood River Patriarch and focused his attention on the Diamond Ape behind him. Why did you betray me? The Beast King's expression was ugly. Among the 4 great Vajras, he might not be very angry if the other 3 betrayed him. Only the Diamond Ape betrayed him, which hurt him. In order to save the Diamond Ape, the Beast King and Blood River Patriarch fought for 8 days and 8 nights, and finally sealed the Blood River Patriarch in a bottomless abyss. After returning to the Beast King's palace, the Beast King treated the heavily injured Diamond Ape at all costs. After a long period of recuperation, the Diamond Ape's strength increased rapidly. Today, its cultivation had reached Earth-grade supreme martial artist. Strictly speaking, the other 3 Diamond Apes were recruited by the Diamond Ape and had nothing to do with the Beast King. Beast King, I'm sorry. I've always been Blood River Patriarch's man. The Diamond Ape looked melancholic. After all, he had followed the Beast King for decades. Now that he had betrayed the Beast King, he felt terrible. Beast King, don't blindly compare yourself here. I will give you one chance. Kneel down and kowtow to me a few times. After that, open your mind and allow me to leave a drop of blood essence in your sea of wisdom. Ancestor Blood River waved his hand, indicating to the Beast King not to waste his energy. No matter how flowery your words are, it's impossible for the Diamond Ape to return to your side. Beast King, Patriarch Sword Evil, can the 2 of you fight Patriarch Blood River if you join forces? On the surface, Ningyu didn't say a word, but he secretly sent a soul message to the Beast King and Sword Evil Patriarch. It should be possible. Beast King and Sword Evil Patriarch looked at each other and nodded at the same time. How about this? Give me 5 minutes. I'll try my best to finish off the Diamond Ape within 5 minutes. Ningyu had a determined look on his face. Understood. The Beast King knew the severity of the situation. He could only choose to believe in Ningyu. There was no other way. Although Ancestor Blood River was a terrifying mid-7th grade human supreme, the Diamond Ape was equally fearsome. An early 7th grade human supreme. The Diamond Ape's cultivation was only slightly lower than Ancestor Blood River's. Go! With a low roar, the Beast King charged out with both feet on the ground. The Beast King's target was Ancestor Blood River. Swish! The Sword Evil followed, closely behind the Beast King with his Emperor Low-grade, flying sword in hand. Arrogant! The corners of Ancestor Blood River's mouth curled up when he saw the Beast King overestimating himself and charging toward him. He immediately waved his hands, and 2 palm prints separated from his palms. Hiss! The palm prints were so fast that they arrived before the Beast King in the blink of an eye and slapped toward the Beast King's head. Crack! At the critical moment, the Beast King threw out a punch that collided with the palm print. The 2 collided and everything disappeared. Ancestor Blood River, I didn't expect your strength to decline so much after so many years. After one move, the Beast King said coldly, a few decades ago you were still an early 7th grade human supreme and you could already fight against me. An early 8th grade human supreme. Have you been living like a dog for the past few decades? Beast King, it's too early for you to be happy. Ancestor Blood River shrugged with an indifferent expression. Early? The Beast King frowned slightly. Swish! At this moment, another huge palm print appeared beside the Beast King and slapped toward the Beast King's head. Move! At the critical moment, the Sword Evil kicked the Beast King and sent the Beast King flying several feet away. Rumble! The Sword Evil's kick allowed the Beast King to avoid a fatal attack. You're courting death. Seeing that his sure-kill move was countered by the Sword Evil, the Blood River ancestor's face darkened to the extreme. The Blood River ancestor's hatred for the Beast King was greater than the heavens. If not for the Beast King, the Real King of the magical Beast Mountain Range would be him. The Beast King's palace would also be renamed the Blood River Palace. The Blood River ancestor had been silent for so many years just to kill the Beast King when he was down. Now that the Sword Evil was messing around, how could the Blood River ancestor not be angry? How could he not be angry? Today, I'm going to cut all of you into pieces. The next moment, the Blood River ancestor's body gradually disappeared and disappeared into the void. Eight-legged centipede, Earthshaker, Dark Emperor, follow me to face the enemy. Ning, you did not want to waste 5 minutes. He had to think of a way to kill the Diamond Ape within 5 minutes. Or convince the Diamond Ape. Let the Diamond Ape deal with the Blood River ancestor together. The more Ning Yu thought about it, the more feasible this idea seemed. Don't make a move first. Taking a deep breath, Ning Yu walked step by step towards the Diamond Ape. On the surface, Ning Yu's speed did not seem fast, but in the eyes of the Diamond Ape, Ning Yu's speed was extremely fast. Diamond Ape, you followed the Beast King for so many years. To betray the Beast King now is a bit unkind. Ning Yu's real body had already arrived in front of the Diamond Ape. The Ning Yu, walking slowly behind him, was just an illusory shadow. Whether or not I betray the Beast King doesn't seem to have anything to do with you, does it? The Diamond Ape said coldly. Indeed, it doesn't matter. But what I want to tell you is that demonic beasts have self-awareness. Ning Yu said indifferently, Blood River ancestor can kill the Beast King today. If you offend him one day, he will definitely kill you as well. Nonsense. The Diamond Ape scolded. My relationship with the Blood River ancestor is not for you to say. There's a chance. Ning Yu's eyes were fixed on the Diamond Ape's face. Especially when the Diamond Ape said the words nonsense, Ning Yu's expression changed from solemn to joyful. Diamond Ape, I know you have something difficult to say. Tell me, and I might be able to help you. Ning Yu said, You're courting death. The Diamond Ape's eyes flickered and immediately shot out, charging towards Ning Yu. A good chance. Looking at the Diamond Ape that was charging towards him, Ning Yu did not dodge. Instead, he closed his eyes. Bang! A crisp sound rang out. Ning Yu was like a kite with a broken string, flying straight to the back. So that's how it is. Chapter 1035. Reaching an Agreement. Ning Yu. When the eight-legged centipede and earth-shaking bull saw Ning Yu being sent flying several feet away by the Diamond Ape, they hastily rushed out and caught Ning Yu. I'm fine. Ning Yu pushed the eight-legged centipede and the Earthshaker away and walked toward the Diamond Ape. This time, Ning Yu walked very quickly and arrived at the Diamond Ape's side in an instant. He whispered, Beast Essence Dispersal! What? The Diamond Ape originally wanted to kill Ning Yu, but when he heard Ning Yu say the words Beast Essence Dispersal, his expression immediately changed. Beast Essence Dispersal is a type of medicine that specifically targets demonic beasts. Its medicinal effects are overbearing. Without paying attention to the Diamond Ape's shocked expression, Ning Yu continued, Humans who consume Beast Essence Dispersal will die immediately. Demonic beasts who consume Beast Essence Dispersal will turn into puppet demonic beasts. In other words, they will be controlled by others. If my guess is correct, you have been afflicted with Beast Essence Dispersal since several decades ago. Everything you do is beyond your control. Ning Yu, stop acting mysterious and spouting nonsense. The Diamond Ape said coldly, I'll give you a chance to live. Be tactful. You should know the current condition of your body better than I do. Ning Yu waved his hand and interrupted the Diamond Ape's words. The Beast Essence Dispersal has already spread throughout your body. If you can expel it in time, you may not live for more than 3 days. The diamond ape was startled, and large beads of sweat appeared on its forehead. Suddenly, the diamond ape shouted angrily, "You don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. Six-winged sky-soaring python, go kill this brat." Yes. Upon receiving the order, the six-winged sky-soaring python immediately flew out and roared as it launched a powerful attack at Ningyu. "Come out." Looking at the six-winged flying python flying toward him, Ningyu's mind jolted, and he controlled the 2 small flying pythons in his storage ring to fly out. When they were in the Beast King Palace, there were a total of 6 little flying pythons following Ningyu. When they reached the core hall, there were only 2 mini flying pythons left. Now that the 6-winged sky-soaring python wanted to kill Ningyu, how could Ningyu just stand there and let it kill him? Six-winged sky-soaring python, if you don't want them to die, you'd better stop. Ningyu held the red demon sword and placed it on the little flying python's neck as he growled. Whoosh! The 6-winged sky-soaring python stopped in midair with a whoosh, refusing to advance for a long time. Get lost. Ningyu sheathed the red demon sword and kicked out twice, sending the little flying mosquito flying far away. Shoo! The little flying python flew away, but the 6-winged flying python wouldn't just sit and wait for death. He immediately gave up on Ningyu and chased after the little flying python. Diamond Ape, if I can help you get rid of the scattered beast energy in your body within 3 minutes, will you help me deal with Patriarch Blood River? Turning his head to look at the Beast King and the Sword of Evil, who could lose at any time, Ningyu knew that he was running out of time. If he couldn't gain the Diamond Ape's trust and make it believe in him, everything would turn for the worse. How can you make me believe in you? The Diamond Ape's face was gloomy. Recently, whenever he wanted to cultivate, his internal organs would be in excruciating pain, tormenting him to the point where he hovered between life and death. Furthermore, Patriarch Blood River had given him a time limit of 3 days to find 10 5th-grade human supremacy realm humans. With the current condition of his body, it was obvious that he couldn't fulfill Patriarch Blood River's request. It's very simple. I can make a heavenly oath. As long as you relax your mind, I will definitely get rid of the scattered beast energy in your body within 3 minutes. Seeing that there was hope, Ningyu hurriedly said, "All right, make a heavenly oath first." After pondering for 3 seconds, the Beast King said in a low voice, "I make a heavenly oath." Without delay, Ningyu immediately forced out a drop of blood and made a heavenly oath. Rumble. Just as Ningyu made the heavenly oath, before he could help the Diamond Ape, a rumbling sound came from the other side. Without even looking, Ningyu could guess that it was the Beast King and the Sword of Evil who couldn't hold on any longer. "Ningyu, don't even think about playing any tricks. If I want to kill you, it's easier than killing an ant. If it wasn't for the scattered beast energy, how could the Diamond Ape let Ningyu do as he pleased? Even if there was only a 1 in 1,000 chance, the Diamond Ape was willing to try. What if the scattered beast energy in his body was expelled? He had to look on the bright side. Remember, you must open up your mind. Ningyu unreservedly released his soul force and combined it with his perception. He entered the Diamond Ape's body. Hiss! As soon as his perception entered the Diamond Ape's body, Ningyu couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air. The Diamond Ape's situation was more miserable than he had expected. 3 minutes should be very difficult. Fight! No matter how difficult it was, Ningyu had to do it. If he didn't, he would definitely be killed by the Blood River ancestor. If he did, he still had a chance to expel the scattered beast energy from the Diamond Ape's body and let it help him deal with the Blood River ancestor. The Diamond Ape's cultivation was at the early stage of the 7th grade Supreme Being. The Sword of Evil and the Beast King might not be a match for the Blood River ancestor, but with the Diamond Ape, they had an 80% chance of winning. Gritting his teeth, Ningyu forced out a few drops of blood and sent them into the diamond ape's body. TSK, TSK. The scattered beast energy was very potent and had already penetrated deep into the diamond ape's internal organs. Ning, you didn't dare to relax at all. The slightest bit of carelessness would cause the backlash to intensify. At that time, even he would be implicated. What an old fox! As Ningyu helped the diamond ape expel the scattered beast energy, he secretly observed the diamond ape's movements. The diamond ape was indeed very smart. He was afraid of being ambushed by Ningyu, so he focused all his perception on Ningyu. Drip! Time flew. In the blink of an eye, a minute had passed. The effect was very obvious in the first minute. Ningyu had already expelled a quarter of the scattered beast energy from the diamond ape's body. At this rate, it would probably take another 3 minutes for the diamond ape to regain its freedom. No, it's too late. Ning, you only had 2 minutes left. In other words, he had to help the diamond ape expel all the scattered beast energy from its body within 2 minutes. Otherwise, everything would be for naught. Diamond tiger, diamond panther, diamond goat. The 3 of you go help the beast king. As if he had guessed what Ningyu was thinking, the diamond ape made the best decision in his life. He let out a low roar and transmitted a message to Diamond Tiger and the rest. No matter what, you have to delay the Blood River ancestor. Whoosh! Diamond Tiger and the rest were originally under the diamond ape's control. Now that the diamond ape had given them the order, they did not hesitate and immediately joined the battle. Vajra Tiger, Vajra Panther, and Vajra Goat were all 6th grade mortal sovereigns. With their participation, the Beast King and the Sword of Evil felt the pressure lessen. Diamond Ape, what the hell are you doing? Chapter 1036. I have a favor to ask the Diamond Ape glanced at Patriarch Blood River and did not say anything. At this time, the beast essence in the Diamond Ape's body was rapidly decreasing. How could it have the time to talk nonsense with Blood River Patriarch? In another 3 minutes, the Diamond Ape would say goodbye to the damned beast essence powder. He couldn't be bothered with Blood River ancestor. Beast essence powder. How smart was Patriarch Blood River? When he saw the movements of Ningyu and the Diamond Ape, he instantly understood. Beast essence dispersal. Ningyu was definitely helping the Diamond Ape expel the beast essence from its body. It's not that easy to expel the beast essence powder. How could Patriarch Blood River allow Ningyu to do as he pleased? He shouted in a low voice, and with a thought he controlled the Vajra Ape's beast essence to erupt. Diamond Ape, I told you a long time ago that if you try to dispel the beast essence powder, I will let you know. Poochie. However, before Patriarch Blood River could finish speaking, he spat out a mouthful of dark red blood. Patriarch Blood River, you dare to be distracted while fighting us? You're simply courting death. Taking advantage of Patriarch Blood River's carelessness, Beast King punched Patriarch Blood River's chest. The Beast King's punch was so heavy that it sent Patriarch Blood River flying. Blood spewed out as his aura plummeted. Ha ha ha. Seeing that his aura was about to plummet to rock bottom, Patriarch Blood River did not get angry. Instead, he laughed maniacally. Beast King, it's not that I look down on you, but even if there were 10 of you, you wouldn't be able to defeat me. After laughing maniacally, Patriarch Blood River took out a pill from his bosom and threw it into his mouth to chew. Kacha! After swallowing the pill, Patriarch Blood River's aura returned to peak middle stage rank 7. Divine Essence Pill! The Beast King's eyes were very sharp. The moment the Beast King took out the elixir, he could tell the name of the elixir. Divine Essence Pill. A late-stage, grade 9 medicinal pill had a miraculous effect on the recovery of essence chi. as long as one's cultivation was lower than a ninth-grade human sovereign. A divine essence pill could instantly replenish all the yuan qi consumed. You didn't expect it, did you? When you threw me into the bottomless abyss, I found a jade bottle at the bottom of the abyss. Blood River Patriarch took out the jade bottle and shook it, saying, "There are a total of 6 divine essence pills in the jade bottle. In the process of flying up from the bottomless abyss, I consumed a divine essence pill. Now, fighting with you, I consumed another divine essence pill. A divine essence pill is equivalent to having an extra life. What do you have to fight with me?" Patriarch Blood River said proudly, not taking the Beast King seriously at all. "I've had enough fun. You guys can die now." Patriarch Blood River punched out 3 times in a row. Bang, bang, bang. Each of the 3 punches was very powerful. King Kong Goat, King Kong Tiger, King Kong Leopard. These 3 great Vajras couldn't even withstand a single move from Patriarch Blood River before they were completely annihilated. Sword of Evil, go all out. The Beast King looked extremely gloomy. Other people could replenish their essence chi with divine essence pills. When his essence chi was depleted, he could only replenish it with royal grade essence crystals. The difference between the two was obvious. Go all out? What a joke. Didn't you guys go all out just now? Patriarch Blood River smiled faintly, and his figure immediately turned illusory. Uft! In the next moment, Patriarch Blood River appeared behind the Sword of Evil and the Beast King and punched out twice in a row. Without a doubt, one punch landed on the Beast King's back and the other on the Sword of Evil's back. The huge force from their backs sent the Beast King and the Sword of Evil flying out and falling at Ningyu's feet. Whoosh! As if he didn't see the Beast King and the Sword of Evil, Ningyu suddenly opened his eyes and slowly exhaled a mouthful of turbid air. A blessing in disguise, Diamond Ape. You've gained a blessing in disguise this time. Ningyu stared at the Diamond Ape with a happy expression. Due to the influence of the beast essence dissipation, the Diamond Ape's cultivation had stagnated at the early stage 7th grade human supreme for many years. This time, Ningyu helped him expel the beast essence dissipation out of his body, allowing him to break through the limit of early stage 7th grade human supreme and advance to mid-stage 7th grade human supreme. Diamond Ape, how confident are you in defeating Patriarch Blood River? Ningyu turned to look at the Diamond Ape and asked. Less than 30%. The Diamond Ape said in a low voice. At this point, the Diamond Ape paused for a moment and continued. As long as the Beast King and the Sword of Evil help me and snatch the divine essence pills from Patriarch Blood River, I have an 80% chance of killing him. Although the crisis of the beast essence dissipation had been resolved, the pressure on the Diamond Ape's body had been greatly reduced. However, the Diamond Ape did not completely relax. Patriarch Blood River was very capable. As long as Blood River Patriarch was not killed, the Diamond Ape would not be at ease. Right now, there was only one thought in the Diamond Ape's mind, and that was to kill Patriarch Blood River at all costs. Diamond Ape, you traitor, I'll let you know the consequences of betraying me. Patriarch Blood River's face was gloomy, but he did not attack immediately. I betrayed you? The Diamond Ape pointed at his nose and said coldly, If you did not use the beast essence dissipation to restrain me, how could I be at your mercy for decades? Diamond Ape, do you think you're a match for me? Blood River Patriarch gave up because he could not convince the Diamond Ape. He changed the topic and said, Although you've also advanced to the mid-stage 7th grade human supreme, compared to me, we're worlds apart. If I wanted to kill you, it would be easier than squashing an ant. I know what you're worried about, the Diamond Ape said emotionlessly. You don't have absolute confidence in defeating the Beast King, the Sword of Evil, and me, so you want to defeat us one by one. Blood Moon annihilation. No one could figure out Patriarch Blood River's actions or guess what he was doing. A moment ago, he was still talking to the diamond ape, and the next moment, he waved his palm and a huge palm print flew out. Ningyu, you retreat first. No matter what, Ningyu had helped him expel the beast essence dissipation. So how could the diamond ape let Ningyu fight Patriarch Blood River? The diamond ape pushed Ningyu away and engaged in a fierce battle with Blood River ancestor. Quickly recover. The Beast King and the Sword of Evil were not fools. They knew that this was a rare opportunity, and if they missed it, they might not get it again in their lifetime. Although the diamond ape's strength was the same as Patriarch Blood River, it was not realistic for him to kill Patriarch Blood River. There was only one way to kill Patriarch Blood River, and that was for the Beast King and the Sword of Evil to recover to the 7th grade human supreme realm and fight Patriarch Blood River to the death. Only then would there be a chance of survival. Mother Energy Form, Little Energy Form, I have something to ask of you. Ningyu heard everything that the diamond ape said just now. Snatch the Divine Essence Elixir. As a 9th grade peak alchemist in his previous life, Ningyu had personally refined a few cauldrons of Divine Essence Elixir, so he knew how terrifying it was. Once he snatched the Divine Essence Elixir, the Sword of Evil and the Beast King would instantly recover to the 7th grade intermediate realm, even. Chapter 1037. Buzz. The main energy body and the smaller energy bodies swayed in the air, their meaning clear. Think of a way to snatch the Divine Essence pills from Blood River Patriarch. Ningyu said fiercely, as long as you snatch the Divine Essence pills, I'll let you devour Blood River Patriarch after he's dead. Buzz. The main energy body and the smaller energy bodies swayed in the air, not replying to Ningyu immediately. After all, Blood River Patriarch was a mid-stage 7th grade human supreme. He was very powerful. Going against him now was like throwing an egg against a rock. It was extremely dangerous. Ningyu, I have a way to snatch the Divine Essence pills from Blood River Patriarch. The Dark Emperor said hastily. He couldn't help with what happened earlier, but he had to help with the Divine Essence pills now. Get lost. Blood River Patriarch is a mid-stage 7th grade human supreme. What can you, a 1st grade human supreme, do? Ningyu glared at the Dark Emperor angrily, signaling him not to make trouble. I really do have a way, but the prerequisite is that you and the energy bodies cooperate with me. The Dark Emperor knew that Ningyu did not believe him, so he continued, the 2 energy bodies will create energy clones to confuse the Blood River Patriarch. As for you, lend me the phantom armor. When the time comes, I will fight the Blood River Patriarch's attack head-on and snatch the Divine Essence pill for you. Nonsense. Ningyu rejected directly. Don't meddle in this matter. I know what I'm doing. Return to the storage ring immediately. Don't take a step out of the storage ring without my permission. Otherwise, don't blame me for being impolite. The Dark Emperor wanted to snatch the Divine Essence pills? That was a joke among jokes. The Divine Essence pill was a precious elixir that Blood River Patriarch would definitely view as a treasure. He wouldn't take it out until the very last moment. Under this condition, he could only have a chance to snatch the Divine Essence pills when he least expected it. All right. Helpless, the Dark Emperor could only respond before transforming into a streak of cold light and entering the spatial ring. Ningyu, actually, the Dark Emperor's method should be the best one at this stage. After the Dark Emperor disappeared, the Red Devil's voice sounded in Ningyu's mind. Sigh, how could I not know this is the best way? Ningyu sighed. The Dark Emperor has just reached the first-grade mortal sovereign realm not long ago. I'm worried about leaving such a dangerous task to him. I'll ask you one last time. Are you going to help me or not?" Ningyu turned around and looked at the two energy bodies in the air. Whoosh! Whoosh! The mother energy form and the small energy form looked at each other before flying out. The target of both energy bodies was Patriarch Blood River. Chi-Chi. However, the parent energy body and the smaller energy bodies were not that stupid. They kept creating energy clones to deal with Patriarch Blood River. What? Patriarch Blood River and the Diamond Ape were having a good battle, and he was even suppressing the Diamond Ape. Who would have thought that a moment of carelessness would cause an overwhelming amount of energy clones to attack him? These energy clones were not particularly strong. The stronger ones were at the first-grade mortal sovereign realm, while the weaker ones were at the half-step supremacy realm. Although they were not strong, there were a lot of them. With the addition of so many energy clones, the pressure on the Diamond Ape was greatly reduced. Die. Patriarch Blood River was indeed Patriarch Blood River. He waved his hands continuously, and in an instant, countless fist lights flew out. Every fist light would cause an energy clone to be destroyed. Not good. Ningyu had already expected this situation. At the start, he did not have much of a change in his emotions, but was thinking about when to make a move. However, Ningyu's imperceptible glance caused his expression to change drastically. The mother energy form and the smaller energy form did not have enough energy. It's over, it's over. 8-legged centipede, Earthshaker. How many royal grade origin crystals do you have? Ningyu said with his teeth clenched. Without energy replenishment, the mother energy form and the smaller energy form would definitely not be able to hold on. By then, everyone would be done for. Here. Earthshaker threw a storage bag over, and Ningyu caught it firmly. Not origin crystals. All of them are high-grade fruits. Ningyu did not care about the consequences. He threw the fruits together with the storage bag to the mother energy form and the smaller energy form. Crack! Crack! Almost in an instant, the storage bag was completely devoured by the two energy bodies. Not even a scrap was left. Buzz! With energy, the mother energy form and the smaller energy form continuously split the energy clones. Diamond Ape, Beast King, Sword of Evil. The three of you attack Patriarch Blood River from the front and attract his attention. Ningyu clenched his teeth, and his body gradually merged into the void. Go. The Beast King and the rest were very intelligent, so they naturally knew what Ningyu was planning. Moreover, they had no other choice but to attack Patriarch Blood River with all their might to buy time for Ningyu. Energy form. Patriarch Blood River destroyed the energy clones, clenched his fists, and dashed out in an instant. Patriarch Blood River's target was the mother energy form and the energy clones. Your opponents are us. At that moment, the Beast King and the Sword of Evil stood in front of the two energy forms. Among them, the Beast King shouted, Patriarch Blood River, this day next year will be the anniversary of your death. Humph. Loser, since you guys want to die, I'll fulfill your wish first. Then, I'll deal with the energy forms. Ancestor Blood River snorted coldly and was the first to charge at the Beast King. Patriarch Blood River was so fast that in the eyes of the Beast King, he was just a shadow. Bang! A punch brought with it a violent primal chi wind, and it slammed into the Beast King's chest. With such a powerful punch, the Beast King was sent retreating and out of sight. Patriarch Blood River, eat my sword. After the Beast King was pushed back, the Sword of Evil slashed out a sword radiance and rushed toward Patriarch Blood River. Small tricks. Patriarch Blood River did not care about the Sword of Evil's sword radiance. He casually fanned out a cold light and instantly dispersed the sword radiance. Ding! Moreover, Patriarch Blood River clenched his right fist and punched the royal low-grade flying sword in the Sword of Evil's hand. With a crisp sound, the Sword of Evil and the flying sword were sent flying. "Your hand!" The Sword of Evil shouted the moment it was sent flying. "That's right, my hand is not an ordinary hand. I have already refined it into a magic weapon." The corners of Patriarch Blood River's mouth curled up, and he said sinisterly, "According to the classification of magic weapons, it's at least a mid-grade royal. Your flying sword is only a low-grade royal. How can it be a match for me? Eat my fist." In a flash, the Diamond Ape had already arrived in front of Patriarch Blood River. The Diamond Ape's physique was especially strong, and he wanted to fight Patriarch Blood River head-on. "Hee, I just said that my right hand is a magic weapon and it's a mid-grade royal. You came to die." Chapter 1038. Divine Essence Pill Flying Ape Fist. The Diamond Ape did not seem to hear Blood River Patriarch's words. He channeled all his Yuan Qi into his right wrist and threw a backhand punch that collided with Blood River Patriarch's unavoidable fist. Crack! The two fists collided, and the result was predictable. A crisp sound rang out. The Diamond Ape's body flew backward, like a kite with a broken string. Bang! Compared to the Beast King and the Sword of Evil, the distance the Diamond Ape retreated was not particularly far. It was only about 4 to 5 feet. However, the Diamond Ape's injuries were much more serious than those of the Sword of Evil and the Beast King. The Diamond Ape's entire right hand was almost crippled. Energy bodies, it's your turn now. After forcing the Diamond Ape and the others back with 3 consecutive moves, Blood River Patriarch roared and charged at the energy bodies. Energy bodies were good stuff. Not only were they powerful, but they could also convert energy. No matter how impure the energy was, it would become very pure after being converted by the energy bodies. Devouring the pure energy converted by the energy bodies would allow one to achieve twice the results with half the effort when cultivating. Swoosh! Before Blood River Patriarch could reach the 2 energy bodies, the Beast King flew over from afar and started fighting with Blood River Patriarch again. Damn it! Blood River Patriarch was so angry that his nose was crooked. "I've given you face and you think you can fly? I didn't kill you just now, but this time I'll definitely turn your bones into dust." "Blood River Patriarch, you want to turn my bones into dust?" The Beast King seemed to know what Blood River Patriarch was thinking. He smirked and said sinisterly, "I'll stand here and see if you can turn my bones into dust." "Go to hell." Patriarch Blood River shouted and immediately gathered essence, Qi, on his right fist. With a flip of his hand, he punched out with a shocking fistlight. In order to kill the Beast King in one move, Blood River Patriarch used 80% of his strength in this punch. It was not that Blood River Patriarch did not want to use 100% of his strength, but he wanted to save some energy to prevent the 2 energy bodies from escaping. The energy bodies were too important to him. Whether he could advance to the 8th grade human supreme martial artist realm in a short period of time depended entirely on his energy form. With the help of the energy body, he would be able to break through to 8th grade human supreme in 3 years. Without the energy body, it would take him at least 30 years to reach the 8th grade human sovereign realm. Patriarch Blood River, I suddenly remembered that I have something to do. Let's fight another day. The Beast King did not wish to clash head-on with Patriarch Blood River. The Beast King had yet to recover to the early stage 7th grade human sovereign realm. while Patriarch Blood River was a middle stage, 7th grade human sovereign realm. The difference in strength between the two was huge. Fighting head-on was no different from courting death. Whoosh! As soon as he finished speaking, the Beast King did not hesitate to burn his blood essence to turn around and run. If he couldn't win, he would run. The Beast King was smart. Damn it! Patriarch Blood River wanted to chase after Beast King, but he was afraid that the two energy bodies would escape. Therefore, after cursing inwardly, Patriarch Blood River chose to change his direction and fly toward the body of energy. I can't believe it. The moment Patriarch Blood River turned around, he was stunned on the spot, because in front of Patriarch Blood River, there was nothing, not even a speck of dust. Where's the energy body? Patriarch Blood River's mouth was slightly agape, a little stunned. It's here. A voice rang in Patriarch Blood River's ears. Where? Patriarch Blood River was puzzled. Not good. Patriarch Blood River was very smart and reacted instantly. He hurriedly gathered his essence, chi on his wrist, and threw a punch. Patriarch Blood River, is that all you've got? Beside Patriarch Blood River, Ningyu revealed a disdainful expression. Ningyu's expression seemed to be saying, "You're too outdated. Even a first-grade human Supreme Realm rookie like me can't defeat you." Are you sure you're talking to me? Patriarch Blood River looked at Ningyu in front of him, then lowered his head to look at Ningyu's chest. He even stuttered a little. Also, why is your body so hard? You can refine your right hand into a Dharma treasure. I can also refine my body into a Dharma treasure. Ningyu shrugged and said, Your right hand is comparable to a middle-grade royal Dharma treasure. My body is comparable to a high-grade royal Dharma treasure. If you don't believe me, you can try punching me again. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. At this moment, the Beast King, the Sword of Evil, and the Diamond Ape gathered together. Has Ningyu lost his mind? He actually let Patriarch Blood River punch him again. The Diamond Ape looked at Ningyu as if he was looking at a fool. No, Ningyu is wearing a suit of armor. That suit of armor should be able to block a full-powered attack from Patriarch Blood River. The Beast King and the Sword of Evil knew that Ningyu was wearing the phantom armor, and they also knew how terrifying it was. What armor? Patriarch Blood River is a middle-grade 7th Supreme. Even a low-grade Royal Dharma armor can't withstand a punch from him. The Diamond Ape was puzzled. It's a low-grade Royal Dharma armor, the Beast King explained. Oh, right. Then the Beast King suddenly slapped his head and said, I know what Ningyu is trying to do.